The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show, Backtracks Edition.
You were telling me when I first walked in the door here this morning, Josh, that I had to leave town Friday, so I missed out on our company Christmas party this past Friday. You told me that it was fairly eventless. No one got nude. Nobody pissed in the punch bowl or anything dramatic like that.
No, it was one of the more well-attended ones in years.
Oh, yeah?
It was really busy. But like any event now that I go to with my advancing age, it was too loud.
Oh, my God.
Way too loud.
My ears are still ringing.
Yeah, I had joked with, I'm the only one from the show that showed up. And I had joked with the people sitting, I forget who I was sitting with.
I friggin' knew you'd be the only one that showed up.
Everybody said they were going to show up, but it was just me.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I think I was there.
No, you weren't there. I was there. I didn't see you guys.
Josh said he was there. He said he didn't see any of the rest of you. At least I mentioned ahead of time that I wasn't going to be there.
You mentioned it. Yeah, you guys said you were going to be there. You didn't show
I was
up.
the last one there.
You Ashley was not there.
Ashley, Dana, Wapple, nobody there. You're sitting there with the wife. What was it that made it so loud?
There was a gentleman. Now, he was a talented guy, a singer who was singing Irish folk tunes. And you would expect, well, how loud could that be? That's nice background music. You might see that at a Potbelly sandwich during lunchtime. Ooh. But this guy was louder than Metallica. It was so loud.
So loud.
Irish folk songs. It's Christmas, not St. Patrick's Day.
I know. I don't know what the theory was there, but I'll tell you, there was a guy sitting across from me. Looked a lot like Wapple. It wasn't Wapple because none of them showed up. He was just like straight across me. There was a person that looked like Dana. Wasn't Dana. Wapple sitting right next to him. Wapple and I couldn't say anything other than just wave.
Wait,
it was so loud.
You mean the guy that looked like me?
Oh, gosh darn it, yes. The guy, I could just call him Wapple because he looked so much like
He
him.
gave him the nickname of Wapple.
Yeah, come on, man.
I get it.
What the hell?
But I had mentioned there was a 5-minute intermission, and you know when you watch a war movie and there's a really loud explosion, and then the guys are picking themselves up, and then it's just complete silence, and then there's a light ringing? That's how it was.
Yeah.
You just see mouths moving.
And I'm not exaggerating. You could not hear the person next to you. There were plenty of times I was just kind of shaking my head because I got so... I was self-conscious about saying, I'm sorry, what? Can you say that again? What's that?
Well, whose friggin' idea was that, to have a blaring, loud folk singer while you folks are trying to mingle and get to know your coworkers at the company Christmas party?
Well, if Ashley would have been there, I would have guessed it was Ashley's idea.
Sounds like one of her ideas.
And when the guy would take a set break, too, it would be like, so then everybody just got to talk all of a sudden. So it'd be like you had to get everything out real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? What's it? What do you do? I'm good. I'm good. How about you? Like everybody just had to speed talk because we knew we had like 3 to 4 minutes before this guy cranked it back up again.
He was a good singer and
he
guitar
was very
player.
talented, no doubt, but it just wasn't the right vibe for that.
It was not what you expect.
No.
Very interesting.
I was not there, but someone told me it was hilarious because he had like a sidekick who was playing a drum, and you couldn't even hear the drum at all.
Yeah, we were joking about that. Like he looked like somebody out of Duck Dynasty.
Yep.
And I don't know if he was even playing that thing.
No.
It's kind of like
Was himself.
when we had to do, like everybody, I'd imagine, you do those singing shows, when you're a little kid, all the parents come, they're bored.
Yep.
I would always just kind of mouth the words and not really sing. He could have just been not touching that drum, and we never would have known.
Well, that's really that's an interesting story. That's too bad because I can't stand that. Now I'm even happier that I wasn't there because I cannot stand having to scream back and forth over the sound of loud music, especially in a smaller joint like that. So dude was up there just hollering songs about foggy mornings and gravel roads
and Danny Boy
and old Irish battles and
corned beef and
counties.
rats. And
I liked it.
it was
Nobody liked
what? You don't think it was too loud? I mean, you weren't there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, if I was there, I would have probably thought it was a little too loud. But I liked the jams. They're pretty good songs.
Yeah, like I said, he was talented. He was a good singer. He just could have brought it down a couple of dBs.
He also was adorable.
And
He was.
It was very fitting too that I happened to be walking past, before his set started, and he asked, "Oh, are you guys here for a holiday party?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "What company?" I'm like, "Well, we work at 93X." So then when the set started, he's like, "Yeah, and shout out to everybody from 90X3." I was like, "Yeah, that's fitting."
Well, we've had people that work here that have done worse than that on stage.
They're not 100% sure what's going on.
Not 100% sure what we're called.
And then
they get up on.
The big boss, as high as you can go in this building, right? She gets up on stage and she's kind of saying some nice stuff, but nobody was paying any attention. And I think it's because we were all so deaf from what was going on that nobody could tell what was happening.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those moments. She got done talking. I heard some clapping, and I was like, oh, whoop, should clap.
Yep.
Yep,
Well.
great speech.
The only, I should say, not controversial, but the only thing that kind of stood out was my wife and I, we got there at the very beginning, and there was only like 3 people there, right? And some dude came in, one of our coworkers, and big-timed me so hard that I laughed out loud, and so did my wife. It was egregious. I mean, we're standing right there, and I give him like an enthusiastic, "What's up, man?" And he just looked at me, turned the corner, and walked away.
Oh, wow.
He big-timed you.
Oh, yeah, and it's the guy that you'd expect. He's Mr. Big Time in
He
this
had-
building.
Yeah, I could see it.
He had more important people to get to.
Oh, absolutely. He wasn't going to talk to me. So
Well-
I was telling Nick, I almost text Nick and just say, he's done this to us before. And so I predicted something like that would happen if he showed. But I just went up and made him talk to me. I thought, I'm going to go talk to this guy. If he really doesn't want to talk to me that bad, I got to talk. Maybe I can, win him over with some kindness.
Well, how about next time you see him, just hand him a print-off of the current ratings?
Well, not to be a dick, but I kind of think that's what it was about. I think that was a big part of it.
If you have a piece of paper big enough to where it can carry itself all the way down to where he is rated, hand him that. See, we'd be up at the top of the page. You could hand him a... He'd have to go way down to the bottom.
I kind of think it was.
That could be your big-time move.
Do we have big enough stapler to get all the way through those pages?
I got a copy of the ratings. Just say that to him. Here you go.
Yeah, again,
Here you go.
not to be a douche, but I kind of think that had a lot to do with it. I don't know why that had to happen, but
So another company Christmas party is come and gone. I'm sorry I missed it.
yeah, like I said, I knew you were busy. I didn't text you about that, but it was fun. I got to hang out with some lookalikes of these guys over in the other studio.
I wish I was there now.
Yeah, you should have been there.
Yeah.
Sounds like it was fun.
You guys, nobody else saw anything, crazy?
That was pretty tame.
No, it was,
No.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was really tame.
Oh, I guess the only other thing was there was a couple there where the dude's like, I'm going to get drunk tonight. I got my sober cab right here. And I saw that sober cab have 4 drinks. And I thought, you're going to need a new sober cab.
Really? Man. Well, there you go.
Oh, there was this guy that told me and Jeremy and Wapple and his girlfriend like
the
the
hell's
same
Jeremy?
joke. Oh, sorry, my boyfriend told us
told-
like the same joke like 5 times. That was pretty cool.
Okay, I like that bit.
Yes.
Do you remember the joke?
Oh, I do. I
Yeah,
totally
Waffle's
remember
got
it. We kept saying it all weekend. So I was on a Teams meeting the other day, and I was talking, and I told the joke, and I wasn't even remotely funny.
Oh, I got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Why did he have to dump it on you 5 times?
I think every time he told the joke, he thought it was the first time he was telling us. A little tuned up.
One of those.
He
Yeah.
had his hat turned to the side, completely to the side.
Wait, say that again. What did he say to you?
I was on a Teams meeting the other day, and I told a joke. Turns out I wasn't even remotely funny.
He had to tell you that?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet it's Mr. Comedy that told you that too, right? Funniest guy in the building?
Oh, yeah.
What a douchebag.
Oh, yeah.
I want to clear something up. People are texting in and they're saying, they were assuming it's Steve Gorman from KQ's Morning Show. Not at all. That guy could not be nicer.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude.
I'm
I
not
want to
a-
make sure nobody thinks that's who it was.
Okay, I personally don't like the guy. You guys seem to think that I don't care for him specifically.
No,
That-
it was not him.
That's who I was picturing.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Eventually it will be.
Maybe someday, but right now he's a good dude.
Every workplace has its characters. I kind of miss the days when there was some real dangerous nutcases in the building. I kind of miss those days. As scary as it was always interesting, was it not, Josh?
It was, and we talked about that with some of the people there, some that have been there for a while, like, oh, remember when this happened, and this happened. And we had talked about, I forget the exact story, but we were discussing who'd be most likely to have sex at the bar in our company Christmas party, right? And
this was a conversation you had this past Friday night.
Well, we had talked about it on the air. Do you remember that last week?
Yeah, okay, yes, I do.
And we both said, I could predict the guy, I could predict the girl.
Okay.
Not that they'd have sex together, but I could tell that, they are the most likely to have sex at the bar at the Christmas party.
Right.
And so a few people brought that up. We were talking about the old times, and one in particular was like, hey, out of curiosity, who were you picturing? And it was one of them.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, so-and-so.
Someone you don't remember.
Yeah, you're not sure who that. I don't know if you've ever met this particular person. Yeah,
I miss some of those dangerous, shady characters. I do, just because you never knew what the hell was going to happen.
There's only been one firing from a Christmas party, right?
Yeah,
At least that I know
about
of.
him. Didn't we talk about him a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, we talked about him.
Every workplace has its characters, folks that are a little shady, even scary, sometimes criminally dangerous. I was just reading something along those lines. Where did I have that now? About, like that one coworker that you'll always remember. Here it is. I think this is it. Now that we've brought it up. Someone who you worked with that usually came and went quickly. Usually, not all the time. Sometimes the nutcases can have some staying power, can they not, Josh?
Oh, yeah.
And they come and go and then leave again and then come back.
Well, I'd still recommend waiting them out. Usually the
Wait 'em out.
douchebags, either they, by their own, they do it to themselves, or eventually they just, they'll leave.
Good call, because that's worked for us a few times over the last 25-some years. Wait them out. Someone you worked with, like I said, usually they come and go quickly. They were strange. They did something strange and got fired, or not. This kind of stuff can be fun to talk about. Our wonderful, glorious listening audience, text us, and if you can, tell us about that coworker, the one that stands out from your memory, the one you still talk about because they were just that effed up. This could be something we could throw into the mix this morning. Who was that one coworker? Could have been last week, could have been 25 years ago.
Dumbass Welder Jesus has one already.
He does? I love it.
He works with a guy that either has it better or worse than everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, I think every company has that guy.
That reminds me of that Gorman prick from down the hall.
Again, Gorman's a great guy.
He is not a great
It
guy.
was not him, and I can't imagine that would be him.
You guys all fall for these sumbitches. Oh, he's a good guy. He's not a good guy.
Going back to the advice about just wait him out, for me, that eliminates any frustration. Meaning I'm not going to be pissed at this person, however they treat you or however they act or whatever they get away with, because I know they'll be gone soon enough.
Yeah.
Soon enough, they're going to be gone.
Man, I mean, I'm just sitting here trying to come up with, I requested our listening audience, tell us about that one guy, that one, could be a girl, that one coworker. And that might be tough because I'm trying to pinpoint one where 5 or 6 of them are going through my noggin right now. The one that stands out above all others for the shadiest, the creepiest, the oddest. I mean, it's tough. So maybe you have to tell us about more than one if you're going to text us. And again, that number is 651-989-9393. Maybe you got to tell us about more than one because I can't pinpoint just one.
Sewer lining Jesus.
There have been so many friggin' nut jobs.
There's been a lot.
Yeah, so.
And then just when you're like, well, it's got to be, oh, no, I forgot about this person.
You forget about the other person.
Sewer lining Jesus says, I can't think of anyone, so I'm probably that guy.
Could be.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
if you can't spot the sucker at the table, you are the sucker.
I mean, there was the guy who was doing sleazy things online with naked pictures. There was
boy, that might be right there at the top of the crop.
There was the guy who smoking crack rocks and
Oh, no.
There's the two dudes that I caught masturbating here, and they didn't even come to mind because there's been more nutcases around here.
That's not good.
Yeah, masturbation is so tame.
Although we've mentioned this before, but our boss told a story about a radio station he used to work with where somebody did the same thing. They masturbated in the studio. Now here, we don't have cameras.
No.
Unfortunately, they did, and they would live stream some of their shows. He didn't realize this was live streamed, so not only was he going for it while masturbating, but he also took his shirt off and he was playing with his nipples.
Love it.
And I guess it made the local news because this thing was live streamed. It was pornography, right?
Playing with his nipples.
I wonder how he found. I wonder if like people contacted the station mid-masturbation, or if it was afterwards where he gets a phone call from the boss. Hey, anything interesting happen to work today?
Just an email to the station. This guy's really wailing away at himself.
Did I play with my nipples? Oh, no.
Dude.
I think I played with them.
I mean, the guy I just mentioned who was smoking crack rocks, he was fairly harmless. He didn't hurt anybody. Didn't really bother anybody, but he was smoking crack rocks and you couldn't get him to show up on time. And that was, I'll give him credit. Crack rocks have usually done a little more damage than this guy. He hung in there all right, despite all the crack rocks and the showing up late. But I don't know. It's tough to come up with one, but hopefully you can and text us.
We had one of these too here. A Medical Device Jesus checked in. By the way, congratulations to Medical Device Jesus. He hit 3 months sober yesterday. Nice work.
Is that right?
Yeah, good job. This person, Medical Device Jesus said, I worked with a guy who stole from the cafeteria daily. He bragged about it, and then he got caught, and he said to HR, well, no one told me I couldn't do that. He said he couldn't stand that guy, and he was fired.
Oh, that old excuse.
Yeah, we had someone that did that every day. It was a big deal around here for a while.
Stealing from the cafeteria. That's funny. Well, there you go. Did you see anybody at the company Christmas party that looked like they were, going to hook up?
No.
Hooking up.
Yeah, Dana's girlfriend and Wapple.
So I was there.
I did notice a little bit of a vibe.
You didn't see any hookups?
Nothing.
No.
No, everybody's kind of there with their significant other, it seemed like.
Yeah, I was one of the last few people to leave, and that was probably at like 9:30. So it wasn't that
That's it.
crazy of a night.
Yeah, because we left about 8:30, and I'm like, we put in 3.5 hours. That's pretty good.
It's good shift.
It was probably even before 9:30. So
Yeah, I think we left about
so it was
9.
fine. Yeah.
20% of people cheat on their significant other at the office Christmas party.
20%.
That's
Whoa.
right, Wapple.
Yeah, that seems
20%.
high.
That's very high.
Oh, I want it to be higher. So we
Get
can
it
have
to
some more
40.
stories to tell. I want some more stories to tell.
I wonder if people knew that stat, if more folks would have shown up at a Christmas party thinking, I want to be part of that.
Yeah.
I want to be the 20%.
You know, it says here, people tend to form intimate bonds with colleagues under workplace stress. Yes. You form an intimate bond. All that stress has got to cut loose at one point or another.
Shared experiences.
So you throw each other into the tall grass.
Wapple and I did
Common
have
foes.
Wapple and I did have a coworker that came up and very weirdly told us he loved us.
Yeah.
Remember that, Wapple?
Oh, yeah.
We were like, is he like leaving the company or something? It was almost like it was a goodbye.
Yeah.
He's like, I just want to tell you guys how much I love you both. You're so great and wonderful, and I love you guys. We're like, thanks, dude.
And then I was
Is this a way to brag about yourselves?
And then I was like, are you leaving right now? He's like, no, I just wanted to tell you guys that before I did leave.
All right.
Whoa. All right.
Have you checked on this person?
You know the guy
Yeah.
very well, or
Yeah, we all do.
we all know the guy very well?
Are you
Wow.
sure he didn't think you were
we
me
were
and
getting
Nick?
fired, so
Maybe you did think I was Nick.
Well, maybe he's dying or something. Who knows? Hell of a deal. Of course, booze plays a big role in office hookups?
I didn't see anybody drunk. And I saw some
Man.
people that were pretty close.
Things have changed, have they not, Josh?
Yeah, back in the day, people would have shown up drunk. They pregame a little bit.
I think if it would have started later, there would have been a lot more drunk people and more debauchery.
Maybe that's why they chose that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah, the
thinking.
Yeah, it's a
five
good
o'clock
call.
start time is probably a strategic move on their part.
Most hookups at company holiday parties are ones that have been brewing for a while, sure. You work together day after day. You check each other out a little bit. There's that workplace stress. And you see them more than you do your significant other if you're working a lot of hours. And all of a sudden you notice, they got kind of a nice ass. She's got pretty eyes. She's got a nice this, that. And then next thing you know, some do it for the rush, the excitement of getting caught, the risks that you're taking. Ooh, Cubby, I like the risks.
Not me. I
What?
am risk adverse.
You are not.
that sounds like the worst part to me. And then the guilt. No, thank you.
Some like the attention. There's all different reasons why folks fire up a side piece at the company Christmas party. Around here, sounds like we've finally learned how to behave ourselves. But for many years, that was not the case. And as I said earlier, when discussing some of the crazy coworkers we've had here, really dangerous, odd people. As I said earlier, I kind of miss them. Just because a little bit of that danger was fun.
I wonder, back in the day, they used to talk about these desert island lists at work, right? Who would be your top 5 if you're on a desert island?
Sure.
Or co-workers you simply would want to have a physical relationship. That was a conversation topic back in the day.
Yeah, we used to openly talk about things like that.
Yeah.
Now you don't want to have those conversations anymore.
Yeah, I don't think you can anymore.
No, you shouldn't do that.
But I'm probably too old to have that conversation anyway. But is there anybody here? We can have this conversation right now.
On a radio show, you
Yeah.
can have that conversation.
Is there any, if you think of somebody in the building, is there anybody you want to hook up with? I can't think of anybody outside of Derek.
Yeah, no, I can't think of anybody.
No.
It's
Good.
different, though. Back in the day, people worked here. There was a massive staff
Yeah.
between the 3 radio stations.
Even though there's only 8 or 9 people left in the building, I can think of a couple.
Can you really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody that
Want to
you're-
know why?
Why?
I'm a whore.
Yeah, you are kind of a whore.
Yeah.
You've always been a
I've
whore.
always been a whore.
Is it something where you're genuinely attracted to them, or just I'll hit that?
Yeah, that matters.
I'd say it's more the latter.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
I didn't think there's anybody here you'd be pining for, and no disrespect to the people that work here.
It's the unknown, Josh.
Yeah.
The unknown. The lure of the unknown. That's what it is. Plus I think they're crazy hot.
I also want to thank a couple of listeners who I was fortunate enough to talk a little bit with on the way out at the Christmas party. There's a couple of dudes, yeah, really nice guys. I wish I would have more time to talk to them. We had to get home, but
Did someone invite them, or that you just happened to?
half the bar was open to the public,
Right.
And
Just go ahead. I got to hear this. So there was a couple listeners that said hello.
yeah, and I couldn't, we did our best to have a conversation. Like I said, it was so friggin' loud in there. You couldn't hear anything, but they were really cool dudes.
That's cool.
Yeah. One of them, I'm going to guess, was a .3.
Ooh.
But they were, like I said, I had a lot of fun talking to those guys. So if you're listening, thank you for saying hi.
I was chuckling because, we were just having this conversation about oddball, dangerous, lunatic, bastard scumbags that used to work in this building and how it brought about a good amount of fun, but also a decent amount of fear. There was someone who used to work here, I'm sure you remember this, Josh, years ago, who was going to their bar gigs and inviting strangers to our Christmas party. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So weird. Don't do that.
No, that was just, what are you doing? So at the Christmas party, all these listeners are like, can I meet Pablo? And like, who are you? What are you doing here? Oh, well, the afternoon DJ invited me to the Christmas. You can't come into the Christmas party. That was one of my favorites.
So good.
He's a guy's getting on the mic at Bargates going, well, if no one's doing anything this Friday, we're going to be over at Bunny's in St. Louis Park for a what the hell?
Why?
Because the guy was nuts. You know? And Pablo's trying to have some mozzarella sticks and some derelict is staring at him from across the room. You know, who's this guy? You had to be there.
They did have a nice spread.
Oh.
Do you like pizza? They had it. Do you like a taco bar? They got that. There was something else, too.
Sliders, wings?
Yeah, they just, I guess they didn't say no to anything. What do you want for food? We'll take everything.
The half-assed morning show backtracks.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Are you tired of losing your fantasy football league year after year? Lindsay Rhodes, Emmy-winning sportscaster and football analyst, is your new secret weapon on the Believe Fantasy Football Show.
Watch the quarterbacks and his ADP. I think he has massive high-end upside.
Get expert analysis on player rankings.
Wide receiver 22 in fantasy, Cecil Shorts.
That kid can run, so I'm thinking he can have a breakout season this year.
And you can too by searching the Believe Fantasy Football Show. That's BLEAV, wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show Backtracks Edition.
Dad fights! Dad fights! You don't have a dad, here's what it's like. Dad fights! Dad fights! Randy and Brad, they just fight. And the dad fights!
You know who else is a natural-born world shaker? My guy Cubby.
Oh, stop that.
He's always coming up with great ideas. He had a great idea earlier. It's our final dad fight of the year. It's Ultimate F-Off Day. Who gives a rat's ass what happens?
Exactly.
So Josh said, why not let Janelle play today, too? For
all
dad
right.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
This is the end of season 2, correct?
The end of season 2.
Yeah.
So it's a sugar daddy fight.
You son of a bitch. So Janelle,
am I missing out on something here? Or what?
Have you ever played any games, just you and two men, Janelle?
I thought it was Christmas. I mean, what's going on here?
Would you be
Christmas,
willing?
all right.
Jupiter Jane, would you be willing to play?
Of course.
Okay, so today it's going to be Randy Shaver versus Brad Ryder versus Janelle Klein. It's a three-way.
The one we all knew was going to happen.
This is Dad Fights
Happy
number...
birthday to me.
Randy, remember, Brad's there, too.
Well, that's why he's saying it.
Do you like movies about gladiators?
It's Dad Fights number 150-something. If you're new to our gimmick, Dad Fights is our weekly trivia dust-up here between two guys that get more intelligent every time we have them on the show. You two fellas have had a great year. You have had a great year at Dad Fights. The Ass Man Randy Shaver in one corner, Brad Ryder in the other, and now we know that Janelle Klein will also be competing. What do we have here? Okay, it's Ultimate F-Off Day. We're all on Christmas break after today, so we're not trying to make anybody work too hard, especially ourselves. With it being Christmas time, we thought it would be fitting to look back to when we were kids. To be a kid again on Christmas morning all over again.
Wasn't that awesome?
I remember how it usually played out for me. I'd be the first one up, and I'd run to the Christmas tree only to find an uncle and a woman I'd never seen before passed out naked on the couch together.
Memories.
Empty beer cans under the tree, and that's it. So I hope at least some of you have...
Santa forgot to stop by.
Yeah. If any of you have some fond Christmas memories to share, it would contrast to my memories. But, so today we're going to quiz you fools on some of the most popular toys of all time. When we were kids, there was no bigger thrill than opening a Christmas present, finding the latest kick-ass toy in there. Doll, toy, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So some of the most popular toys of all time. Maybe one of us were even gifted one of these great toys on Christmas when we were young people. The greatest toys ever. We'll dump some, as I always say, hints and information on you involving these wildly popular toys from years gone by. You name them. They could be from decades ago or maybe not so damn long ago. But I think this will be fun. I think all three of you will do well. And it'll be fun, unlike my childhood Christmases.
Well, it's fun for us. Maybe not for you. You were there.
It's a little bit weird, though, because my childhood toys will be a lot different than Janelle's.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Different decades.
You guys, you'll all recognize this stuff.
Okay.
You will.
Okay.
You will. Doesn't matter who you are, how old you are. I know there's a massive age difference between Janelle and Randy.
I'd imagine all your toys will be a lot different from Ashley's.
Well, in many ways, probably.
Now, Brad and Randy know how this works because they play every week. But Janelle, this is just and I know you listen and things like that. But just to be sure,
Yep.
Janelle, you want to be the first to shout out the correct answer.
Okay.
Just shout it out. You want
Don't
to
be the first just to shout out. You have to get the right answer.
And you have to give both Bosas, not just one.
Right.
Now, there's a guy that can hold a grudge.
No kidding.
You want to try to beat these fellas to the punch with the correct answer. If you're correct, you'll hear the bell. I understand the incorrect sounder is a Christmas-themed something or another, Wapple?
No.
Yeah. No.
Dude, that's awesome.
It's Santa Claus, but he's not saying ho, ho, ho. He's saying...
No.
You can steal a point if someone answers incorrectly. 10 challenges plus a tiebreaker. So Dad Fights 100 plus 52, the popular toys edition. Brad versus Randy, and for the first time ever, versus Janelle also. Listen closely, shout out the answer when you think you have the correct one.
Even though this first iconic toy in this episode of Dad Fights was released in 1940, it's still a household name, thanks largely in part to a fictional 9-year-old boy who was warned he'd shoot his eye out with one of these rifle replicas in the beloved classic holiday movie, A Christmas Story.
A slingshot.
No, BB gun.
A slingshot?
I was trying to think of the brand name of the BB gun. That's what took me a while.
Well, it's the Red Ryder, right?
Yeah.
Red Ryder BB
Yep,
gun.
yep.
Will we accept BB gun,
Oh,
Wapple?
hell yeah, we're accepting BB gun.
Yep.
It was named after the main character in the Red Ryder comic strip, sold for $2.95, which would be about $63 today.
Oh,
Massive hit.
My God, it was in 1940, it was that much money?
I guess so. Yeah.
Wow.
How much was it?
$2.95.
That would be, Josh said that would be $63 today. I bet not a lot of kids got that BB gun in 1940. That's a lot of money.
I wouldn't think so. Well, not at that time.
Right.
Definitely. It was a massive hit, but after the U.S. entered World War I, the Daisy Manufacturing Company turned toward producing defense materials. So they stopped the production of the Red Ryder, but brought it back in 1946.
Nice job. Brad Ryder got that. So he's got one. Randy, nothing. Janelle, nothing.
Let's give Janelle one for playing along.
1-1. We had BB guns as kids, absolutely.
Always wanted one.
Was there anybody? You never played with BB guns?
No,
as a
we
kid?
never got one.
Oh,
I have one now.
My brother had a BB gun he used to shoot me with.
Those were gold on the farm.
Anyone got any? Anyone have any horror stories?
No.
We
Shoot your eye out?
Well, strangely enough, back in like junior high, we had BB gun wars and whatnot, and one dude got a BB pellet up under his eyelid.
Ooh.
Oh.
They had to take his eyelid off for him to get it out of there. It was hilarious. All right, so 1 for Brad Ryder. Here's your next challenge. If you were a parent of ungrateful children during the 1996 holiday season, there's a chance you might have shanked someone in a Sears parking lot over this red stuff.
Tickle me, Elmo.
Janelle.
Nice, Janelle.
1 for Jungle Jane. Yes, this red stuffed Sesame Street character that let out a high-pitched giggle whenever you squeezed his carcass. And the correct answer is Tickle Me, Elmo. Now, this is interesting. Reading Denalysis. Here's a list of things that happened during the Elmo frenzy. 2 women in Chicago were arrested for fighting over a doll. In New York City, people followed and attempted to hijack a delivery truck carrying Tickle Me Elmo dolls.
Insane.
I'd watch that movie.
Dolls went for up to $7,000 on the secondhand market. $7,000. I mean, we were here for, it was crazy. We did radio promotions live from malls to be a part of this madness. So I saw it all firsthand. It was insane. A radio station in LA auctioned one off for $18,000. And some sorry-ass Canadian mall employee got trampled by a mob of 300 people at a midnight sale, and he ended up with a broken rib and a concussion.
That's insane.
It's just terrible.
I know we got more of that coming up in the episode here. Just people going crazy for these toys.
Janelle's on the board.
I want to make a correction for the Danalysis in the first one. It says World War I. World War II.
Oh, my
yeah,
bad.
that's all right. I didn't even realize it after putting it together here. This hunky action figure was all the rage when it came out in 1976. The tan and jacked bodybuilding stud donned a pair of blue undies, and thanks to his elastic latex body, could be stretched up to 5 feet.
Stretch Armstrong.
There you go.
Nice.
Randy on the board. There's a big market for vintage toys these days, but in the 70s, Stretch Armstrong toys are rare. They're rare now because kids would disembowel them to see what was inside to make them so stretchy. As a matter of fact, a mint condition 1976 Stretch Armstrong can fetch thousands at auction.
Isn't that funny about kids dissecting them? That is exactly what my brother and I did within minutes of receiving a stretcher. We had the arms and legs off of that sumbitch within minutes. We destroyed it because we had to know what was. I have vague memories. It was kind of reddish purple, kind of a. That's a 1 for Randy Shaver. So we're all tied at 1 across the board, aren't we?
Yeah.
Everybody's. If you're just tuning in, Janelle Klein is playing against Randy and Brad. It's a 3-way for Dad Fights 100 plus 52. We're talking popular toys here. We're all tied at 1. Okay. Although these wild-haired dolls first came out in the 1950s, they soared in popularity in the 80s and peaked as the most popular toy in the year 1988. They are shirtless with jewels in their bellies. And nowadays they have
Cabbage Patch.
No.
All right, I finished the rest of the question, I should say, for Janelle and Brad. Randy's incorrect. Nowadays they have a popular movie series going. One final hint. Sometimes you hear their name used to describe someone who intentionally tries to piss people off on the internet.
Troll dolls.
Troll doll.
Oh, yeah.
Another for Janelle Klein.
Nice.
You are correct. The troll dolls. It says here the record for the biggest troll doll collection belongs to the Troll Hole Museum in Ohio. The owner has 8,130 troll dolls.
Imagine going on a bender and waking up and you're in the Troll Museum Hall of Fame and you wake up, there's just troll dolls everywhere staring at you.
Terrifying.
That's nightmare fuel.
Let me tell you something. I've woken up in worse places. But you're right. That
Sounds
would
like
be
some Christmas morning. He's woken up.
right. 2 for Janelle.
Sounds like a New Year's morning.
Right.
2 correct answers for Janelle, 1 each for Brad and Randy.
You may rely on it. Ask again later. Outlook, not so good. Those are a few of the answers this mystical oversized
Magic 8 Ball.
Randy's got it.
Oh, I used to use the heck out of one of those trying to figure out if the boy I liked was going to like me back ever.
Did you keep asking it the same question until it gave you the answer you wanted?
Of course.
I think that's how you play. If you have played and you've noticed a disproportionate amount of positive answers from a Magic 8 Ball, there's a reason for that. The Magic 8 Ball consisted of a 20-sided die with 10 positive responses, 5 neutral, and 5 negative. There's also an unofficial copy called the Rude and Crude Magic Answer Ball. That features replies including, "You bet yo ass," "Who gives an S," "Fat chance, a-hole," IDFK, and "Faux shizzle."
Now, Nick, you said you guys disemboweled a Stretch Armstrong. Me and my buddy one bored summer day kept smashing a Magic 8-Ball until we finally got it open and went inside with blue ink all over. So it looked like we just robbed a bank, like with the dye bags going up.
I
Or made out
understand
with the
wanting to get
squid.
it open.
Yeah.
Oh, Cena, you're supposed to drink the fluid.
No.
No.
Any young ears out there, you are not supposed to do
Do
that.
not consume that.
It turns you into a wizard.
Oh, no.
2 correct answers
If
now.
you do, outlook not so good if you decide to drink that.
2-2-1. 2 correct answers for Randy, 2 for Janelle, 1 for Brad Ryder.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. You guys will be on this in no time. Guys and girls, I think you'll be on this in no time. Backyard sports were changed forever in the early 70s when this SAWFT...
Nerf ball. I said it.
Randy got it. When this SAWFT soft version of a football hit the shelves, of course, the Nerf ball, invented by...
Fred Cox.
Fred Cox.
No bonus
Late-
points, Brad.
Oh.
Another point for Janelle.
Let's give Janelle another point.
All right.
Late great Vikings kicker Fred Cox invented the Nerf ball. That's one of the most fascinating stories in sports history.
And he got rich, too.
Well, of course.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean,
Huge.
We have Nerf everything.
Yeah.
the guy was an unbelievable kicker in the NFL. He was a friggin' dentist, and he invented the Nerf ball. I mean, Jesus criminy, we need more Fred Coxes in the world. That's 3 for Randy Shaver. Everyone had a Nerf ball. We used to have a lot of laughs with that.
Oh, yeah. They're a blast.
Okay, here we go.
13 years before the Tickle Me Elmo frenzy, your mom was crotch punting someone's grandma to get her hands on this iconic doll from 1983.
Cabbage Patch Kid.
That's correct, Cabbage Patch Kid. There's an actual Wikipedia page called Cabbage Patch Riots. The dolls were so popular in the 80s, there would often be thousands of people outside a store that maybe had only 200 dolls to sell. There were many reports of tramplings, fist fights, and even attacks with baseball bats. Mom on mom.
No, who brought a baseball bat?
I would imagine that a lot of people who were, a lot of people from that era can relate to this. My mother, in order to avoid violence at the store, attempting to buy a real Cabbage Patch doll, she just made one for my sister.
Is she any good at it?
Yeah, how'd that turn out?
I mean, my godmother could do it.
It turned out okay, but there was no hiding the slight look of disappointment on my sister's eyes when she realized it was homemade.
Did the other kids bully her for it? Like
They
how
beat her
people-
ass. Yeah, they beat her ass pretty good. They tuned her up good. They made her drink the fluid from a Magic 8-Ball.
But she can tell the future now. Amazing.
Janelle Klein got another correct answer.
That's just what she does, man.
Wouldn't it be something if Janelle, out of nowhere, defeated these 2 seasoned Dad Fights veterans in her first crack at? I mean, it'd be like when I entered the world of pickleball with no experience at all and turned Randy Shaver into a little bitch.
That was so sad. Your whole life is just about beating me. It's just sad.
I can't deny that it's fun. Yeah, to sort of make it part of my life. What's the score, Wobble?
So we got 3 for Randy, 3 for Janelle, 1 for Brad.
It's a tight matchup.
Brad needs to run the table to win.
He's done it before.
All right, here we go. Another popular toy. This action figure was cut loose on kids in the year 1968. It was
G.I. Joe.
Sounds like somebody got one of those.
Oh, yeah.
You knew that was coming, right?
Randy Shaver was on that way. It was created to make it okay for boys to play with dolls. G.I. Joe is correct. What I remember about the G.I. Joe doll, I was fascinated, and I don't know, maybe this has something to say about the way I operate as an adult. I don't know, you tell me. I was fascinated with stroking G.I. Joe's beard.
I don't remember having one with a beard.
Yeah, maybe it was a later model.
Yeah.
It had a beard, and the texture of that beard was just, I couldn't stop fondling it. I fondled it all day.
The big thing with those back in the day was all the accessories that came with it. The jackets or the helmet or the rifle or whatever.
Very cool stuff.
Absolutely.
But I mean, of all the gadgets, I couldn't stop touching the beard. Randy Shaver was on that one, so now he has 4 correct.
Finish him.
And her.
Does this mean that Brad has been eliminated
I
mathematically?
can still answer.
No,
those,
you're
can't
done.
I?
You're done. You're out.
No, I can still answer.
It's the holidays.
Nope.
You're out, Brad.
Nope.
Brad says
Take your
he's
leaf
not.
I
blower
can
and go
still
home.
answer.
Brad said he's not out.
I'm not out.
Wapple, does this mathematically eliminate Brad Ryder?
Yes, it does.
Brad?
Yes.
Talk to you next year.
Can you be an adult about this? It's come down to
So I
Randy
should
Shaver.
not. So I should not answer.
You should not answer.
All right.
Do you want to hang up?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Can we hang up on you?
Sure. Anytime you
He gave us donuts. Don't hang up on him.
Those were good.
It's come down to Janelle Klein and Randy Shaver. Brad,
We knew you'd finish first, Brad, in the 3-way. We had a feeling.
Just one of those, what was that? Oh, Brad's done.
He barely even showed up. I mean,
It's like Kramer slamming the $5 bill down. I'm out.
I'm out, Jerry.
I'm out.
Did someone spill something? Oh, no, Brad. It's come down to just Janelle and Randy here. 4 correct answers for Randy, 3 for Janelle?
Yes.
Okay, Randy has the
Man,
lead.
the heat is on.
Are you feeling pressure?
I'm scared.
Okay.
Yeah, you do look a little nervous.
Don't be.
nervous.
You're doing great.
Don't be scared.
I mean, if Randy wins, I just want to say it's my birthday gift to him.
Oh, my gosh.
Lay it on him, Cubby.
When it first came out in 1966, the Milton Bradley Company never dreamed
Monopoly.
No.
Oh, Janelle, what did you say?
I said Monopoly.
Monopoly.
No.
What movie? Forget it. Go ahead.
They never dreamed how popular the game would become with half-naked drunk college kids one day. But you don't have to be a buzzed-up co-ed to enjoy this balancing game featuring a large plastic mat and different colored circles.
No way.
Seriously.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank.
Oh my God.
No.
You should be eliminated
I'm
for
drawing
not
a blank.
getting that.
Yes.
The answer, Janelle, is what?
Twister.
Twister. Gosh, I couldn't think of it.
Twister, a quick Google search, according to Danalysis, shows there are countless various drunk twister and strip twisters online. You can buy a massive oversized twister mat to get even more people in on the fun. And an additional twister, speaking of fun fact, it shares the name with the legendary 1996 Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt tornado movie, beloved by each and every member of this show.
Yes.
And each and every member of this show are greatly anticipating the 2024 sequel, Twisters. We all love Twister. What a movie.
Why did you have to do that? Why did you have to get...
Did I get that wrong?
You got it wrong. We've been having so much fun. That is just one of the biggest, fattest piles of cow manure that's ever been created by Hollywood. That stupid movie Twister.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, God. Okay. This is very exciting. Now, if I have this right, it's still 4-3 in favor of Randy.
Mm-hmm.
If Randy gets this correct, he wins.
Yes.
If Janelle gets it correct, we've got a tiebreaker. If neither one of you get it correct, Randy wins.
Got it.
Okay. All right.
Listen closely. From the year 1989, Nintendo put together this portable handheld video game device. It was more or less a scaled-down black and white version of the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Come on.
Portable handheld video game device. It was more or less a scaled-down black and white version of the Nintendo Entertainment System.
No.
Game Boy.
Brad knew that one, too.
Brad had a terrible showing. Janelle had a great. Randy's the winner. He wins by a final score of 5-3. Janelle, I really thought you were going to get that one because you probably had a Game Boy, didn't you?
I probably did.
Yeah.
I could not think of it.
You would have got the tiebreaker.
That's
100%.
But as Nick would say, Randy was just touched by the finger of God.
Son of a bitch.
Yes.
Randy Shaver gets the win. Yeah, I always wanted a Game Boy. I never could get my hands on one. All my classmates
too.
had friggin' Game Boys. But now I play the balls off it. What do you call that game again? What's that game that I play all the time that used to be on the Game Boy?
Tetris?
Tetris.
I love Tetris.
I play a lot of it nowadays, but I surely wanted to play it back when it was on the Game Boy. Well done, everybody. What a wonderful Christmas edition of Dad Fights. The most popular toys of all time.
The Half-Assed Morning Show backtracks.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Are you tired of losing your fantasy football league year after year? Lindsey Rhodes, Emmy-winning sportscaster and football analyst, is your new secret weapon on the Believe Fantasy Football Show.
Watch the quarterbacks and his ADP. I think he has massive high-end upside.
Get expert analysis on player rankings.
Wide receiver 22 in fantasy, Cecil Shorts.
That kid can run. So I'm thinking he can have a breakout season this year.
And you can too by searching the Believe Fantasy Football Show. That's BLEAV wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show Backtracks Edition.
Josh?
Yes.
Light of my life? I'm going to ask you to dip into your vast memory here. Because I can't think of anything. But maybe once you get it started, I could dive in there. I have a question. This is an online thing that folks have been rapping about. What's the most scandalous thing you've ever seen here at work? What's the most scandalous thing you've ever seen happen at work? Feel free to text us if you've got something for us real quick on the topic, 651-989-9393. But for now, I'm asking Cubby, after all these decades here at the radio station, scandalous, what comes to mind?
I can think of a few.
Oh, a few? God,
yeah.
this is going to be... Okay, good.
Man, we've told these stories. One, we probably shouldn't bring up because it involved national legal attention, so that one we'll leave out. That was a big scandal. But also, I caught two people masturbating here.
Okay.
Neither of them were Wapple.
Neither of them were Wapple. No.
Surprisingly.
Prayers not yet answered on my part there. Someday I'll catch you Wapple.
He just opens the door. Gotcha! Ah, dang it. Like you're doing it.
I've caught some people in compromising positions with someone they may have picked up at a bar gig late at night.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah, we used to have a lot of sex in the building. Yeah.
Folks taking money for concert tickets, which are the property of the station and supposed to be given out for free.
Also, they're on the street selling them to folks.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Never thought of doing that.
I was a party to something you might call a little scandalous when I first started working here. When I first got my first paid position in promotions, there was a particular boss who would send me to run all of his errands. And I even asked, like, is this is cool? He's like, oh, yeah, this is part of being a paid intern. You do some of the grunt work. And I mean, literally, and I've mentioned this before, part of that included going to Wisconsin to pick up a snowmobile he bought off of Craigslist, right? So
That'd
I would
be awesome.
run all of his errands, and eventually that stopped when somebody asked me about it. And I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I was told interns do.
So the scandal there was that you were getting paid by the radio station and not doing any damn radio station work at all.
Not at all. I was his personal assistant, basically.
Those are all pretty good. I was just thinking of some others now. And just like I thought it would work out, now that you threw a few into the mix, I'm thinking of some others. There was...
Hardcore drugs. Seen that back in the day?
Hardcore drugs, I don't know. Is that...
Well, if you're doing coke at work, I mean, that's
pretty scandalous.
That's scandalous
Yeah.
in most workplaces.
Well, there was the dude who was, I don't know, wasn't he like stealing coupons? like a grocery store sent us a bunch of coupons.
He was giving gift cards.
Gift cards.
Unless we're conflating two different stories.
Yeah, who knows? Scandal at work. Feel free to text us again, 651-989-9393. Where do I have this? Here, I have it right in front of me. Here are some other scandalous workplace stories from the internet. Someone's boss allegedly mixed her own pee into the water cooler.
Oh.
And let her employees drink from it.
Gross. Nasty.
That is kind of gross and kind of nasty.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of both.
A lot of both of those.
People like that need to be locked up. For that to even cross your mind to do something like that.
I'm just taking a guess that this person just hated everybody so bad in the building. Hated everybody and thought, all right, I'll show you. You're going to drink my pee and not even realize it. Well, they realized it and they were fired.
I mean, there's people that'd be into that. Don't force that on other folks.
You're praying to have a very hydrated day that day, because I imagine if she wasn't very hydrated, it would be pretty obvious what she did to that water.
This is very dramatic, speaking of workplace scandals. And this sounds like something you'd see in a Tom Green movie or something. A doctor and nurse were secretly having an affair, and no one knew until they got mauled by a bear on a rafting trip.
Whoa! Oh, that would be an awesome Monday.
That's God wanting you caught.
Oh, that's the funniest way to get caught possible.
The dude half of this scandalous pair was close to death.
Oh.
And his nurse, girl, he was a doctor, she was a nurse, they worked together. The nurse, his woman, saved his life on this rafting trip when they were both mauled by a bear. So it's hard to put a spin on that with your wife or your husband, right? When you come back to real life, how are you supposed to explain that away?
Thought of another one. There was a
Hit me with it.
Gentleman dismissed after crashing one of the vehicles while drunk, leaving a promotion.
Uh-oh.
That can get you fired from most places.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
And made it all the way back to the station. And when he went to park is when he crashed into the building.
Oh my God!
No,
He's probably thinking
the garage door or something.
No, it was one of those is it a pylon?
Oh yeah,
yeah, one of those back there. Crashed right into it.
I know a guy who once accepted a certain type of favor in exchange for concert tickets and backstage passes.
Oh, man.
Is that a problem?
I don't think you're supposed to do that. There's contesting rules. And
Please tell me that's not a problem.
A lot of people saying folks watching porn at work. When the people I caught were masturbating, that's exactly what they were doing.
I've never seen that before.
Porn?
No, I've never, coworkers watching porn at work.
Wouldn't you be more worried if they weren't watching porn and they were masturbating?
They had the Discovery Channel on or something.
That's a good point, Waffle. I would be a lot more worried. Or if they were just not looking at anything, just staring off into space.
Just memory banking it.
Well, just
the spank bank.
Yeah.
They're just saying your name over and over again. All right, workplace scandal is what we're rapping about. Here are some other takes from, how do you say it again, social media. Jesus, listen to this. A woman brought her daughter to work. A day later, a coworker said, "You can't bring your daughter to work here anymore." And the woman said, "What do you mean I can't?" And the guy says, "I'm not allowed to be around children."
Oh.
Oof. There's a few people texting in, the brother and sisterhood, saying something similar they found out about a coworker where something slipped through a background check or one wasn't completed, and then they find this out and they're gone.
I bet that was hard for her, too, since she's a mother. Oh.
And a lot of people checking in on inappropriate relationships between a boss and a subordinate or,
Sure.
Or somebody and the boss's wife, things like that.
Oh, yeah. I worked somewhere with a boss. The manager, he was all about that, getting the servers and the bartenders' numbers and, Snapchatting them. And it would make you really uncomfortable because, he's the one that makes the schedules. He's the one that decides if you get to leave earlier than other people. And so it was just always put in, such an awkward situation when he'd be like, "Hey, why don't you Snapchat me back? Why don't you ever send me any pictures?" I'm like, because you're 40?
Josh, you used to work at a movie theater when you were a young person, didn't you?
I did. It was one of my first jobs.
Didn't you admit to maybe stealing a Mountain Dew or maybe a bucket of popcorn here and there?
No, so I never stole, but I learned a lot about it from some shady coworkers.
Okay.
And they had scams. I mean, so many scams. Well, I mentioned before, so one of them was they'd sell one ticket, or they would sell, like, you and I would go to a movie, we each buy a ticket, they take a ticket, tear it in half, so you each have half a ticket, right? And then they'd pocket half the money. The other thing they'd do is we had coupons we'd hand out to upsell popcorn and pop, larger sizes, and they would charge people full price, put the coupon in, and then take the cash back that they should have gave the customer. They taught me how to break into the video game machines.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty cool.
Derelicts. So I learned a lot. I never did it myself, but I did learn a lot about it.
All right, here's a movie theater scandal for you. Similar to what this sounds like. It's similar to some of what you were just telling us. Movie theater manager got busted for undercharging people who paid cash. She'd charge them the children's rate and pocket the rest. Okay.
Yep.
That's cute and everything. It turned out she'd been doing this for years and ended up stealing tens of thousands of dollars.
Wow.
Sounds, sort of shady if they do it, once every few months. Hey, I could use some extra walking around money. But this was going on for years, and she had a good pile of money in her pocket because of that scam. Here's a story of workplace scandal. And we got to take a break here shortly. And I see the text messages coming in, and we certainly want to be able to file through those and get our listeners' take on their favorite workplace scandal. This is one where I believe the first half of the story, but I don't believe the second half. There's some folks who, they take it too far, I think. An employee put super glue in our boss's shampoo. I can believe that. I can believe that part. Easy enough prank, even a kid can do that. Put super glue in our boss's shampoo.
That'd be awful.
This is the second half that I don't believe. It later emerged that this was because our boss was banging her sister, boyfriend, and grandpa.
What? Okay, that's a little much. And grandpa.
And grandpa.
That'll teach you.
You didn't think I was going to say and grandpa.
Nope, I didn't.
School bus driver regularly getting BJs from sex workers while driving.
Dang.
While driving.
Well, this bus driver is pretty erratic. We're going fast as hell for a while, then we slow way down. We were having a conversation about workplace scandals. We asked the brother and sisterhood to text in their favorites, something that's happened at their workplace. I mean, I was able to, write down a few of them, but then the text machine just went to pieces. Actually, it's really cool that you broke our text machine. We appreciate it. So many coming in that the sumbitch just locked up. But I did have a few of them here for you. Some of you have been involved in some pretty interesting workplace scandals.
Yeah, fun lunch conversations, I'd imagine, with some of these stories.
Yeah. Here's one for you from a listener. And they just give a little bit of information, but I think we can figure it out. All they texted was X-Acto knife, glue stick, and bank statements at a mortgage company in the early 2000s.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, early 2000s. Yeah.
Dude.
It was the Wild West of crookery back then.
Was it really? Meaning what exactly?
Well, that was like when you'd say, hey, I'd like to buy this house, and they're like, what do you make? We don't care what you make. We're going to put down $300,000.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing like going, what is it?
Interest-only loan with nothing down?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Called it, I think you told me before, Josh, when I was looking for a house, don't go house broke. Don't make sure you get a house where you can afford your mortgage and also your bills and also have money afterwards as well.
I wonder if this individual got caught with the X-Acto knife, the glue stick, and the bank statements at a mortgage company. Here's a listener who worked with a dude on a job site. Worked with him for one weekend. And he never showed up again. It's because he got drunk and ran over his wife and killed her with his car.
Whoa, that is scandalous.
Terrible.
Here's a guy who peed in the eye wash.
Oh, what a jerk.
Dude.
It is kind of just right there at wiener level.
Yeah, that's true.
What kind of a guy pees in the eye wash?
I always wanted to use one of those so bad.
said from a tall guy, Dana, that is not wiener level for me.
Not?
The
Oh,
eye
okay.
wash, no. I'm remembering back to science class. That's definitely not wiener level.
Where in the hell? What are you talking about? Where is the eye wash? What are you talking about?
We had them in middle school, high school.
You probably had one at your high school,
probably.
like in your science lab.
It's yellow. It's in the back.
I never saw an eye wash station until I started working at a warehouse with some hazardous stuff. But it's what, do they got it glued up to against the wall or something like that?
Yeah, it's kind of like a sink.
Yeah, ours was a sink in all the kitchens I had.
Oh, it's a sink. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I've certainly heard of eye wash,
Yeah,
but
it's
I
a
can't
sink, and
identify
then
it.
There's
Can't.
another attachment.
My name is not Jesus. She's had an employee crawl out from under a supervisor's desk, claim she was under there because it was warmer under the desk. It's just so chilly in the rest of the building.
That's incredible.
I was just taking a nap.
That's someone who's bad at coming up with an excuse on the fly.
Talking about workplace scandals, I mean, this takes balls. I guess all of this stuff takes balls. That mortgage company, that takes some balls. But here's one. I mean, I don't know. I always thought these folks were just straighter than a Grizzlies D, working for an armored truck company. Some other guy on the job was stealing tens of thousands of dollars at a time to support his gambling habit.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty good at counting pennies on those jobs. Working at a furniture store, this person says, went to a stock room, caught the boss and the HR lady getting it on while their spouses were working on the show floor.
Wow.
Oh, I would be getting a raise. Such a big raise.
A lot of folks.
Oh, you mean, there's one way for me to keep this a secret.
Yep.
A lot of folks are banging each other's brains out, no doubt. That's maybe the most popular answer this morning from our listening audience on workplace scandals. Everyone's banging someone that ain't their wife. I don't know. How about this one? Tow truck driver picking up hookers on the job.
Full Turbo Jesus had a woman that hurt her back at work, put on disability. But after a few months, they found out she had an OnlyFans page. And he said, let's just say it didn't look like anything was wrong with her back because she was getting folded up like a fourth grade love letter.
Now, I asked Josh earlier to try and remember the biggest scandals we've ever seen here at the radio station, and you came up with some great ones. I remembered one while we were playing commercials or whatever we were doing a few minutes ago. I remembered one, if you want to call this a scandal. I mean, it was pretty big. This is before Josh and I even were working together. I don't even think you were in the building yet, Josh. So it was very early on in my morning show, miserable morning show career. We were part of, this was the mid 90s. So it was all about pushing the envelope in every possible way. So a guy that I was on air with at the time somehow got the phone number of George Bush's mother, the little George Bush, the shorter one.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how to tell you the difference other than that. He was the shorter one. And please save your political nonsense that some of you dorks are texting right now and preparing to send us. I have no interest in that at all. Just trying to nip it in the bud. Save any kind of stupid political comment you have. So this guy I was working with, he got a hold of little George Bush's damn mother's phone number.
Barbara Bush, I'm assuming you're referring to?
Well, I thought that was his wife.
That's Laura Bush, if you're talking about the younger Bush.
Okay. Then that would be Laura. That would be, anyway, little George Bush's mother. This coworker of mine got her phone number, and we called her on the air. And she was very, very nice. None of us planned on being nasty. I think we really just thought this is going to go nowhere, but this woman answered the phone. And there we are on the phone, on air with the mother of little George Bush. And that was the end of that. It actually turned out to be quite pleasant and fun. Again, it was a stupid era of radio where you just did things to do them, to try to shock people. Mm-hmm. And it was over. None of us, I don't think, really even know why we went through with it, but we did. And later on that week, the, I want to say IRS, but that's not correct.
Secret Service?
The FBI showed up to have a conversation with my coworker.
Oh, no.
That was pretty big.
Yeah, I bet.
And it wasn't, that also, from my memory, didn't turn out to be anything nasty. They just wanted to make sure that this coworker of mine wasn't a complete maniac or anything, and we moved on with our lives. But
Did you see them?
Like,
yes, I did.
were they typical Secret Service looking, like suits and stuff?
It sort of was typical, yes.
Ah, cool.
Yes.
They have cool sunglasses and everything.
I don't remember sunglasses or earpieces, but everyone kind of froze in their place.
Oh, yeah. The FBI wants to talk to you? Heck yeah.
And the coworker was a little nervous.
Yeah.
So that was a keeper.
The half-assed morning show backtracks.
Tell me, Josh, if you agree with me. The relationship we have with our coworkers is like we're the parents of 10th graders.
Every once in a while, yeah.
Instead of grown folks working with other grown folks, sometimes it feels more like we're the parents of by damn 10th graders. Let me tell you a story. So Cubby and I are just sitting here. What time is it? 5:43? This was, I don't know, half hour ago or so. Maybe more than that. Cubby and I are just readying ourselves for another broadcast. You know, number one show in town. Totally untouchable within the company, Josh and I. Totally untouchable. There's no one that can tell us anything. And Josh's phone rings, and his ringtone is the sound of Chinese guys lighting farts. We hear the ringtone go off. And on the other end of the line, it's Ashley.
I thought, oh no, she's dead or she killed someone.
She's found a brand new way to be late for work. Ashley tells Josh that she has run out of gas in her motor vehicle and needs help.
Now, listen, to Ashley's defense, this is an unavoidable situation.
Oh, absolutely unavoidable, yes.
Every once in a while, your life just comes out and kicks you in the ass out of nowhere, and that's kind of what happened to her. But there's nothing you can do to prevent such a thing.
If only the car would alert you somehow, some way that it was running low on petroleum.
Dana, thank you. Thank you, Dana.
I feel like I should run the auto industry with that brilliant idea I just came up with.
And if only there were a couple days where you don't have work responsibilities, where you could take the 1.5 to 2 minutes to fill up your tank.
I woke up this morning, and when I got in my car, I realized the gas light was on, and I was like, okay, well, I don't have time to get gas because I don't want to be yelled at for being a minute late.
Yelled at? No.
Has anyone ever yelled at you?
I did.
Except for you guys. Not you guys, but listeners, yeah.
I
really
enjoy
mean.
the way this has come back to bite someone else in the ass
I'm
already.
just saying that's why. Like I was very anxious about that, and I was like, I can definitely make it to work, and that I wasn't able to.
So then Dana has to leave his work area.
Mm-hmm.
He's also readying himself. Now Dana has to go get Ashley, and then what happened? You had to pull her car off the side of the road, or what?
So she gave me a like kind of a gauge of where she was on 280. So I had to go and, you can't just, turn around the highway where I found her. So I had to go all the way down, turn around, and I thought my assignment was just to pick her up and bring her to work. And then she said, well, where's the gas?
Yeah.
And I was, what gas? And she said, well, I need to get my car gas. So I then got back in my car, went to 4 different gas stations. 2 of them were closed. 2 were open. And I said, do you have a gas can I can borrow? And they just looked at me like, no, we don't. So I was completely SOL. And then just drove back to the station. And I get back to the station, and here's Ashley in her car in the parking lot.
How did that happen?
I didn't hear that part.
One of the, I don't believe it was MnDOT, but somebody that helps people on the side of the road pulled up.
Like a highway helper?
Yeah, yep.
Are they called First now? I forget exactly.
Yeah,
I'm not
I forgot
sure
what they're called.
But yeah, so he gave me some
what
gas.
What if it was just some
awesome.
random psycho?
That's what I was wondering.
I thought about that.
Was
at
it a
first.
random maniac?
No. He had a vest on and everything. So
Oh my
he seemed
God, a vest.
He seemed pretty legit.
Wow.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
you were
that's another
saved.
thing. Where can a guy get a vest? That's impossible. So wait a minute. Did you tell Dana you got a ride?
Yeah, I texted
Oh, so you
him.
knew.
Yeah.
Dana.
I was driving back. I wasn't checking my phone. I went to the 4th gas station. I was asking, no gas can. So I was driving back, and then her car was already in the parking lot by the time I got here.
All right, I don't even care anymore. I don't even care.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Quite the adventure.
Yeah,
right?
and I after sitting there, I forget that this has never happened to me, so I forget that when you run out of gas, your car no longer stays warm. So I was absolutely freezing.
Well, I'm sorry that happened.
That's all right.
Again, nothing you could have done. Dana, thank you for going and trying.
Yes, thank
My
you.
only regret is not getting a breakfast sandwich at one of the multiple gas stations I stopped into.
A great idea has been texted in from a listener. Ashley, do you think maybe it's time that you enlist? Anybody think it's time for her to enlist in the armed forces?
They'll probably shape you up.
Go through boot camp at least.
Ask me about CrossFit. Jesus says maybe we could apply for conservatorship to protect Ashley from herself.
You know, when I was a young person and I was just kind of stumble effing around and late for work and just not quite all there, I should have enlisted. It would have given me that proper kick in the ass. You have any interest in such a thing?
Absolutely not.
Oh. So here we go.
I do like you mentioned that you get yelled at. And I know you clarified afterwards, but
It's not you guys that make me feel bad. It's some of the listeners. It's brutal.
It can be. Yeah, people can be dicks, and oftentimes for no reason. But that's kind of happens at my house sometimes. Where I'll be like, "Hey, I had asked you not to put your shoes right in front of the door. If you don't mind, just kind of moving them over."
I hate that when shoes are in front of the door.
Yeah, you can't open them, right? You can't open the door.
And then you trip over the shoes when you enter the room.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
And so, and then I'd be like, well, you didn't have to yell at me about it. That kind of thing. I'm like, I yelled at you about that?
Who says that to you? The young people in the house?
Whoever's in the house. If I say something like that, they're like, I have a tone. And my tone would be, hey, I mentioned not to put your shoes in front of the door, And so I grew up in a house where my dad yelled. I mean, it was terrifying. I was terrified of my dad. And I did, I love my dad and everything, and I didn't want to be that way necessarily, so I don't raise my voice, but they call it yelling at you nowadays.
There is a segment of society who doesn't understand the definition of yelling.
Is it because they think because you don't yell, they think that that's your version of yelling?
Yes, because if I seem annoyed, that's me yelling at somebody.
Well, so everyone's okay now. Everyone's here.
We're alive.
Mm-hmm. Well, Nick...
damn.
I tried calling my boyfriend about 51 times and tried hitting him up on other social media platforms to try to wake him up. So
Tinder and OnlyFans.
But I haven't texted him yet that I made it because I want him to wake up and be like, oh, I messed up.
Well,
oh shoot, I should have been awake.
He didn't mess up. You did.
All right, Nick.
Yes.
You had a weekend. You don't even know it yet. Well, you know part of it. I see you're wearing your Baker Mayfield jersey today, and may I say you look quite fetching.
It is a good-looking jersey.
It's very sharp.
Yeah.
I know you thought they were going to win over the weekend. So
I was hoping they would.
That's the bummer. But I'm glad you said hoping. You were hoping somebody would get injured at Randy Shaver's charity pickleball tournament over the weekend.
Before all this running out of gas drama kicked in, I showed up, Josh, for one reason this morning, to hear your tales of great athletic accomplishment.
Well,
because over the weekend you signed up to participate in a Randy Shaver cancer fundraiser pickleball tournament, and I was just thrilled and excited to hear your tales of great athletic accomplishment. But you're right, last week my number one hope involving this pickleball tournament was that somebody would get injured. And you're telling me you've got what I need?
Dude.
Come on, are you serious?
Yeah, and I feel so... And I want to say, I know we're kind of joking about it.
No, and I want to be clear about something. I'm not talking about anyone ended up in an ambulance. I was just hoping for a good story of, say, a groin or a hamstring or an Achilles or
Far
something.
worse.
No, don't...
Yeah.
Now I feel like an animal.
And you were praying for it.
I feel like a heartless animal. What happened?
I knew we were going to jinx it.
And I thought about it right away.
Well, it wasn't you, because I noticed right away when I got here, of course, we're sitting. When you got up to take a squeege a few minutes ago, I kept a close eye on you to see if you were limping, and you were not.
No, it wasn't me. This poor guy.
No.
He dislocated his knee so bad, his kneecap ended up in Jordan.
Oh, no.
It left the city of Shakopee.
I've seen that where my kneecap has done that. It kind of wraps itself around the other side of his leg.
No, it went up. It just went straight up.
Oh.
And so thankfully, Dr. P was there, our regular doctor, every other Monday. And he happened to be there. So it's one of those where people are yelling for a doctor. Is there a doctor in the house? And unfortunately, it was only Dr. P. But he was there. And afterwards, because I see there's a whole bunch of people gathered around one of the courts, like on the opposite end from where I was.
You didn't see it happen?
No, I didn't see it happen.
You didn't hear the scream?
Nothing, because I was on the opposite end of the building. Drop Shot Pickleball, by the way, is an awesome place.
Fun people?
Yeah, that was fun.
Nice people.
I want to make sure I get that out amongst the drama. But they, so this poor guy, he's sitting there. The look on his face was pure terror. The look on other people's face was, I'm about to barf. And Dr. P's there doing his thing. And I got to see him in action. He's a fantastic doctor. We joke around about it. He was so good. And they wheel him out of there. And Dr. P came up to me. He's like, that guy needs surgery.
Oh.
It was bad.
Oh, no.
So I'm hoping he's doing okay. Hopefully it just looked worse than it was. But I thought of you right away. You got your wish.
Oh, no.
That's awful.
God dang, kneecap just went the other way on him.
This kneecap just said, I'm out of here.
I'm done.
Some guy found it in his popcorn
That's
bowl.
pretty much what it was. Again, it was like a city over. It ended up at the world's largest candy stores in their parking lot.
Did it happen because he landed on it, or the kneecap just went weep?
I didn't hear. Young guy, too. I'm going to guess he was probably in his early 30s, maybe, or at least he looked really young.
And I was hoping more it would be you or Dr. P or Randy.
It's not very nice, but yeah.
I didn't mean for a complete stranger to be wrapped up in my curse or whatever I put on this tournament.
Yeah, it wasn't like an old dude or some guy that looks like he's never. This is the first time he's exercised. He just came out for a charity event. No, he looked like he was in really good shape.
Well,
looked like an athlete.
It just goes to show you never know.
You just don't.
That's what you get for working out.
You can keep yourself in terrific shape, and sometimes things are going to give way. Randy Shaver is under the weather and won't be joining us this morning.
He didn't have a voice on Saturday. You could tell he wasn't feeling very well.
It sucks.
I saw him topless.
Nice.
Did he need to take his shirt off in front of everybody? No. No, he didn't need to. But did he? Yes. He changed outside of the little changing room there.
He's very vain.
He's also quite cut. I commented on it, and he...
You shouldn't have said anything. His ego was already out of control.
Well, you know what? To the point you wouldn't expect, to the point he had this air about him, like, obviously, like, why are you saying something like that?
Why wouldn't I be ripped?
Of course I'm cut. I've been cut for a while.
But now he's not feeling well.
No.
Boy, this tournament just, it took some folks out.
Here's some positives. So my stepkids were there. My stepdaughter won Best Dressed. She won Best Dressed for that. Dr. P, he brought a mullet wig. He didn't win Best Dressed.
Oh, there was like a costume contest?
No, I guess they just threw it out there saying, hey, Best Dressed, or whatever you were wearing. Like, nobody knew. She just happened to have like a little a tennis outfit on. And she even texted me ahead of time saying something like, would I be a complete goober if I wore a tennis outfit?
Goober?
I don't remember what she said.
That's sweet.
But I had said, no, I mean, go ahead. Wear what you want. And then she won Best Dressed.
How did you do out there, you personally? Because, you've been warming up to this pickleball thing. Did you whiff ever?
Well, I didn't play. I lost my partner in you. You had a family thing come up, as you know. And so I didn't have a partner. And the way the tournament was, people were taking it so seriously. Like, I was going to maybe just kind of jump in with my kids or something like that. But people wanted to win.
You didn't play?
No, so I didn't end up playing.
Wouldn't that have been something if you still would have gotten hurt?
Just spectating? Well, yeah, it was one of those things where it was so well organized. And, I mean, people were competitive.
Yeah,
they wanted to win. So
people are dicks.
I didn't want to jump in and have people. And I'm not saying, by the way, I would come in and be a ringer. Not at all. But I think people were taking it seriously enough. They didn't want any hijinks.
So you just sat there by the deli tray or something and had a good time.
Yeah, and so I inadvertently messed up as far as I was talking to a couple of really nice younger guys. There were some really cool people there. And so he's like, well, which one are your kids? And I pointed him out. And my stepson is very good. And he's like, oh, what's his weakness? And so I ran through his weakness. And they're like, well, what do you look for when you're like, what's his strengths? And I'm like, oh, he's got a wicked spin, he's athletic, all that kind of stuff. And they played them next.
Yeah,
and I thought, he didn't do it on purpose. The guy did, but I don't want to suggest he did it on purpose. I don't think he knew who he was playing next. So I'm like, that's not good.
I thought you were going to tell me that you were talking to these young guys and they asked you which one were your kids, and you said, well, that one, and that's my son right there. I thought you were going to say, when they said, what's his weakness, you were going to say, well, chicks with big asses or something like that.
I'm going to tell you, it wasn't too far off from there. I don't want to say specifically what I said, but you're not too far off. Yeah, I'll tell you. It was a good time. Hopefully that guy is doing okay, the guy that hurt his knee.
Oh, no.
It did not look good. Maybe it's one of those, like I said, where it just looked a lot worse than it was.
But it's nothing new. We keep hearing more and more that hospitals are just overrun with pickleball players.
Yeah, was it surgical nurse Jesus who texted last week and said she'd never let her kids play?
Oh,
just
yeah,
because of how many injuries. Didn't she say it's like the number one injury they see now, or number two? I can't remember.
So many people just piling up in the ER of pickleball injuries.
Sluggy Jesus wants to know, I had mentioned this guy that hurt his knee was probably, in his early 30s. So he wants to know if he was from the Mankato State hockey team, perchance. I don't know.
Oh, what a hell of a deal. Well, I'm glad you turned out okay. You came out of it all right, Josh.
Well, yeah, if you don't play, it makes it a little easier. But you're right, I could have slipped on some ice or something.
Yeah, you could have cracked a tooth on the
a hard cookie.
Carcucci board.
Choke on some popcorn from the concession stand.
Something off of the Carcucci board could have cracked a tooth for you. Well, there you go. Yeah, here I am in my Baker Mayfield jersey. I figured I'd give it one more run now that my Buccaneers season is over.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, just a little bit. I didn't watch any of Saturday's games. I forgot who played Saturday.
Well, the Packers.
Oh, right.
Yeah, watch that game.
I didn't watch any of Saturday's games, but yesterday I went. And I told you about this. There's a dude that drinks at my neighborhood bar who grew up in Michigan, and he's gung-ho as a sumbitch about the Lions, and how can you blame him? Of course, he should be. And part of the excitement that I felt when you gave me this beautiful, what's a creamsicle Tampa Bay Buccaneers Baker Mayfield jersey. Part of the excitement was that I could use it to taunt this super Detroit Lions fan that drinks at my neighborhood bar. So at halftime of yesterday's game between the Buccaneers and Lions, what was it, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I raced over with this jersey on so I could bust in the bar and just be, we're tied at 10, suck it, your team's going down. I used to be a dick.
Right.
And the guy wasn't there.
Dang.
He stayed home and to watch the game with his son. So I never got a chance to taunt him with the jersey. I figured I'd wear it one more time here today, and then I could, hopefully he stays with the Buccaneers, even if he doesn't. I wanted to wear it one more time.
I thought they already said they want to keep him.
I don't know. But,
I don't. He didn't look bad, did he? Or did I miss something?
No. He threw one interception, or maybe he might have thrown two, but the one at the start of the game was not his fault. Did he throw one later? Maybe one later sealed the game for the Lions. Yeah, maybe they had 2 picks, but no, Mayfield looked all right. And so now, here we go. They're down to 4 teams now in the playoff. The playoff, as Clem Haskins used to say it.
Sorry about your Bills, Dana. I felt bad for you yesterday. I was bummed. I wanted them to win.
Yeah, I sure did too. That was quite the heartbreaker.
I was kind of just hoping in one way or another both teams could lose that game yesterday because I'm burned out on both of them. But it does suck a little bit more that we just can't rid ourselves of the Kansas City Chiefs.
I know. I feel like the Bills let America down by not just ending their season and being done with them and the whole Taylor Swift thing for a season. But we got to put up with it again next weekend.
Yeah, the poor bastard kicker missed that field goal.
And it had to be wide right, too, which is just so on the nose for the Bills.
Yeah. Well, Jim Nantz even mentioned that.
Yeah.
But Scott Norwood's got to feel like he's off the hook.
Yeah.
Some of you, do you know the reference?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Some younger folks might not know the reference, but an old kicker for the Bills by the name of Scott Norwood missed a big kick in the Super Bowl 30 friggin' years ago. He might feel a little bit better about the situation.
And the fact that people still bring it up, you're right.
Yeah. So, So there you go. What else is going on?
I wonder if Norwood was, is he still alive?
I'm sure he is.
I'm assuming.
I'm sure he is.
If he was like, come on, man, just, I want you to win, but just kick it to the right. A little to the right. It's windy.
I mean, he's only human, right?
Yeah.
He's still
Just leave me alone.
He's still getting hate mail from drunks in upstate New York, you know, for a football game that was played 35 years ago. Hell yeah, he wanted that kid to miss that kick.
Yeah.
I want out of this mess. I don't want anything to do with this anymore. Reminds me of a beer league softball game we played plenty of years ago. Me and my buddies playing beer league softball. And, you know, some of us were more competitive than others out there. I certainly wasn't one of the more competitive ones. And we had this, I don't know, some kind of regional tournament game. Who cares? But, you know, some of my teammates were just freaking pumped for that stupid, yay, if we win this tournament, we get to go play 7 games in 2 days next weekend in the raging heat of the summer. You know, I 8 times out of 10, I prayed for that crap to come to an end. But we're playing in this big regional game, and some dude, I don't know, we were up a run, and the other club had the bases loaded, and like their worst batter comes up and he dribbles some little weak grounder to our second baseman, and it just rolls right through his legs, and the other team wins the game. And some of our teammates were pissed, but I shouted, Bill Buckner's off the hook to my teammate, you know, because it was very Buckner-like. Just little tiny little roller through his legs. That's the end of the game. Bill Buckner's off the hook. Some found it funny, some did not.
I'd see the humor in that.
I appreciate that, Cubby. So there you go. We're off and running here on a Monday morning.
Got enough gas to make it home, Ashley?
No, I'd probably have to have my boyfriend come and bring me some more.
Rats.
It's all right. He doesn't work too far from here, so
We could go
it's
siphon
kind of on
some.
the way. Yeah, I could. Waffle, how's your tank?
Mine's completely full. Thank you.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah,
I know where to get it now.
Here's the difference between your age and mine. I was telling Nick off air. I had half a tank yesterday, and I thought, I better fill this sucker up for the week.
I don't know. I have a hard time filling my tank up all the way because it just feels like it's so much money all at once. And I don't know.
Yeah, well, you're going to do it at some point.
Yeah, I know. And I try to tell myself that, but...
This kind of stuff reminds me of that great line from the movie Tombstone, which was on twice last night, by the way, on one of my cable. I can watch Tombstone. Oh yeah, they just play. They know what works on whatever channel this was. They just play the piss out of Tombstone and Rambo movies. But anyway, it reminds me of that line from Tombstone where Billy Bob Thornton's character is playing cards, and whoever he's playing cards with is pissing him off, and he goes, Jesus H. Christ, it's like playing cards with my brother's kids.
The Half-Assed Morning Show backtracks.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Former Navy SEAL Sean Ryan shares real stories from real people from all walks of life on The Sean Ryan Show.
Tucker Carlson, what is it that you think that people gravitate
I'm not
towards?
self-aware. I refuse to be self-aware. I don't even look in mirrors at all, which you can probably tell from my appearance. I don't have a crazy high IQ, or I really don't have that many skills. I would say my main skill is I believe my instincts. I don't hesitate to follow my instincts, ever. To the extent that I have, I've gotten in trouble.
The Sean Ryan Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show Backtracks Edition.
All right, what am I doing now? I got something for you big spenders here. Things people say are always worth paying a little extra money for. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things you pay a little extra for and you don't mind a damn bit. I was trying to think of my own, personal life. And I don't know, toilet paper? I just can't think of anything that I'm terribly picky about when I'm out shopping.
I'm pretty picky.
If we need bread, grab the nearest loaf of bread. If I need shoes, grab that pair of shoes. If I need this or that, I just kind of grab, I sweep things into a cart. I don't look at prices. I don't look at, but if there's maybe one thing where I don't want the cheap stuff, it's toilet paper, because I do spend quite a bit of my time in a bathroom, in my bathroom, and I can't stand that paper thin gas station. I mean, it'll do.
That's what we've got.
It'll do. Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
We all, pretty much everything we have is bargain brands. Yeah, this is...
Come on, even when you're wiping your little behind, you want to dangle with that...
Yeah, it doesn't matter whose behind I'm wiping. Yeah, it's the real thin stuff.
Oh, that sucks.
That sounds awful.
Just because...
that causes hemorrhoids?
I feel like it would.
He feels like it does.
Irritating things down there.
I'm not going to argue with you, Wapple. I don't know it to be true, but I'm not just...
I mean, I do break paper every once in a while. So
You really have just that really thin garbage?
Yeah.
Just because you don't want to spend extra
money?
money?
It's more of a whisper than it is really a paper.
Just a single ply.
It feels like sandpaper down there.
Why is that, Josh?
It's cheaper, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, I could not live in your home.
Me either.
That's got to be the only thing. It wouldn't be so much, okay, how much is it compared to this pack of toilet paper? How much is it compared to that? It's when I get home and I go to do the wiping, it better be comfortable. If it feels like I'm at a gas station, I'll throw it all away and go right back to the store.
Yeah, there was a stretch I was living with a couple buddies in the house, and we would take turns buying toilet paper. And one of my buddies would always go to Dollar Tree to get the toilet paper. And I'm like, dude,
no,
really?
You can't skimp on that.
Don't do that.
Well, maybe it doesn't bother Josh because the guy only cuts a deuce about once a month.
I know.
That's true.
Good point.
That's the thing.
I did not know that about you, Josh. I've wanted to live with you for years, but I don't think it would work.
Well, I'd buy you some special toilet
Would
paper.
you really?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that's sweet of you.
Can anyone come up with another product? You pay a little extra, but you don't mind a damn bit. You want to have the higher quality. Go ahead.
What about commercials?
Commercials?
On streaming services.
Oh, I don't even know what that means.
You're saying you pay to not watch commercials?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like $1. It's never like that much of a difference. I never pay for, or I always paid to not have commercials. It's gross.
Okay.
I firmly am against companies that earn their money from commercials. Any ad-based company, I choose not to support. So I'm with you. I'll pay a little extra not to have commercials.
All right,
Wi-Fi.
So as I sit here in the Chris Lindahl studios,
okay,
I refuse not to pay for commercials.
So, okay, you pay a little extra so you don't have to sit through commercials on your streaming services. Someone said Wi-Fi. What's going on with Wi-Fi?
I'll pay for the fastest Wi-Fi that's possible.
Okay.
There's nothing more infuriating to me than when the Wi-Fi is going slow.
All right.
Yeah, I'd pay extra for that too.
I do. I'm really picky about a lot of the products I use. So I'd say like anything that has to do with cleaning, I pay extra for like the better stuff. Paper towels. Can't skimp on paper towels.
Josh is a very patient, detailed consumer. Aren't you, Josh? You pay attention to deals and you pay attention to...
I like to research stuff.
Specials. You'll research things. Okay, they got a special on this product at this store.
That helps avoid impulse purchases.
And, great for you. I could never get involved in such things. I just don't have the patience or the presence of mind. A lot of factors. I just, like I said, I just sweep it into the cart and I move on with my life. But good for you to have one of my favorite people in the whole world. Poor guy passed away recently, but he was, any Saturday or Sunday morning, he had his face in the paper and he was setting aside the coupons for a better deal on every damn thing. He was just a genius with that guy. So anyone else, real quick, on a product that you don't mind paying a little extra for?
I thought of two.
Go ahead.
One would be, what's that called? Plastic cling wrap. Because we would buy the bargain cling wrap and it just doesn't work. We ended up throwing it away. There was No point to it whatsoever.
Okay, you're covering up your leftover mac and cheese.
Yeah, exactly. And it just doesn't work.
Gotcha.
The wrap didn't cling.
Yeah, there's no point for it. And then related tinfoil. The super thin stuff
Absolutely.
doesn't do anything for me.
Man.
What about, I thought of two, they kind of are pretty similar, but marijuana and also alcohol.
Wait, you can buy cheap marijuana? Like there's a difference?
Yes.
Oh.
And that will give you a headache.
Yeah, there's cheap, what do they call it? Ditchweed? What's that? I don't know what the current term is, but
Swag.
Alcohol,
like if you're drinking like vodkas, you'd like to pay more so you don't get like a bad hangover.
I understand. I understand where you were going with that. I was just trying to think. I mean, I have a favorite brand of beer, and I don't care what it costs.
Yeah, I never get like if you go up to a place and you're just like, oh, like the people that are like, oh, vodka soda. I'm like, okay, so you're gonna have the most disgusting vodka ever. Have fun with that migraine later.
Sure.
So you'd say you'd order a specific vodka?
Yeah, Tito's or die. And then I would say dog food too. That's probably a big one for a lot of people.
Dog food?
Mm-hmm.
What
I'll pay
movie?
for the good
Caddyshack.
stuff.
That's from Caddyshack. You pay attention to you pay extra for the better dog food.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, I never paid attention to such things until I, was introduced to some dog enthusiasts like yourself, Ashley, who do pay attention to the quality of what your pet is eating. I mean, some of that stuff is just landfill grindings.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
really.
It's just absolute. I mean, it'll kill your dog in the long run.
Yeah.
Really, I hear you.
Take a couple years off their life.
All right, here's the general public rapping back and forth about the things you don't mind spending a little bit of extra money on. Boy, I don't know. I use paper plates and plastic forks, but there are people who say decent kitchenware, quality pots and utensils will treat you well for years.
Yep, it's worth it in the long run.
I mean, if you're the type of folks who cook and stir pots full of, I don't cook.
know. You get bad pans, and then you have that. Eventually, the protective coating will start to come off, and then next thing you know, you're eating I don't even know what that is.
Oh yeah, I've been eating a lot of non-stick stuff.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah, that's. I don't think that's good.
Yeah,
No.
it's little black flakes in pretty much everything I eat.
No.
Oh yeah, I've had fistfuls of those black flakes, and I don't care. But if you're a person who cooks every night, big family, whatever, okay, fine. If you live in a colder climate, they say a very warm winter coat. It costs a lot of money. It'll last longer. Makes a big difference. Winter boots also. It's a life changer to have warm feet when it's snowy and cold outside. In this part of the world, we certainly know how that goes. A comfortable mattress.
Yeah, we got to do that one of these days.
Yeah, when I moved in by myself, that was the first thing I bought was a brand new, really comfortable mattress. Very necessary, and I can never go back to just using an old crappy one.
I could sleep on a bed of nails.
Yeah,
I could.
Oh, I also like nice sheets too. That makes a difference for me too.
That falls into play here, Dana. I like my mattress because it is fancy schmancy. It was part of an endorsement a while back.
Oh, nice.
It's wonderful. It is. But if I got home today and it was gone and I had to sleep on a box spring, wouldn't give a rat's ass. I don't care what condition my sheets are in. I don't care.
We, my wife and I, we have a 16-year-old mattress that we paid $300 for. Still, it's one of those things where it's absolutely disgusting and it's about 300 pounds heavier than when we got it. But at the same time, it's kind of tough to buy a new one.
You've gotten some bang for your buck, no pun intended.
Oh, yeah. You're not wrong.
I get a kick out of people who get so uppity about how the bed is made. And I've told you this before, that I actually enjoy, I don't know why, I wish I could tell you, but I enjoy the sensation of sleeping on a bare mattress. I don't need pillowcases on the pillows. Give me a bare mattress and just give me one blanket. As long as it's warm enough, I don't care. And people that think I'm crazy, like I'm a damn serial killer, because I don't care. I don't need to put sheets on the bed. I don't get that. I mean, I'm lying down. I'm warm. I'm out cold.
You do well in prison then.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Bare mattress, yellow caseless pillows, I'm good to go.
I've had some gross pillows in my day. When you take the pillowcase off to wash, I'm like, oof.
Tires.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I did that for the first time, and it made such a big difference. Usually I'd get the cheapest.
It does. It does. It didn't when I was younger, but now, absolutely.
Because it sucks spending money on that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
It does, yeah.
absolutely. Especially when you have the cheaper option right there.
For you travelers, direct flights. You'll pay a little extra for direct flights as opposed to stopping in Chicago and Cincinnati and Milwaukee, and then you're home.
I'll definitely
always
do
pay
that.
extra. I'll pay extra to let to be able to pick my own seat too.
And when I first started air traveling, which was because of working here, until I got involved in radio, I never went on any airplane rides, and I never cared to. But they started sending us on all these trips, and you've heard the stories about our trips. It never dawned on me, okay, if we're going to New York City, why do we stop in Milwaukee, Detroit, Cleveland, Columbus, and Philadelphia along the way? Well, it's because it was cheap as balls, and the company didn't want to send us on I never knew those things. Absolutely. Now, if I ever was to plan an airplane ride on my own, I would give them whatever the hell they want for a direct flight. I hate that getting on and off. And then, of course, in my mind, you're tripling the chances of death by traveling in 3 separate airplanes. You know what I mean?
I don't know the cost difference, but I'd imagine going to someplace like Universal Studios or something, it might be worth paying a little extra just for the skip the line passes.
Sure.
Something like that.
Because those prices are insane these days.
It's already crazy expensive.
It is.
So we're talking about what you might pay a little extra for. A product you don't mind paying a little extra money for. Here's a listener that says, has anyone said good panties yet?
I haven't heard it.
No.
Good panties.
Yeah, that matters.
Does it?
Because if you get like crappy ones, they'll shrink, they'll snap, especially thongs. They'll like snap.
Oh, you don't need to tell me about my thong shrinking, Ashley.
Your thongs will blow out on you?
Yeah. That's the worst.
You pull them up and they give way?
Yep.
Oh, no. I'll buy a 10-cent bag of used underwear.
Whatever's on sale at Target.
Wapple had to spend a little extra money on some good ones because of all the Snuggies, right, Wapple?
Oh, yeah.
Or wedgies.
Yep.
Did you prefer, would you spend extra to get ones that wouldn't break, or would you prefer they just break to get it over with?
No, I had to make them myself where they would break away. Smart. Cut the waistband a little bit.
Tear away on these.
Yeah.
Tools. A lot of people are saying tools.
Oh, sure.
If I knew how to use them, I probably would do that.
If I had some.
If you're the type who's fixing cars and fixing the house and this and that, absolutely you want to get the quality tools with the comfortable grip and the long-lasting this and that. Now, back to toilet paper, and then we got to take a break. I mentioned that I don't really get too wound up in things like this. I don't cook. But I want to have comfortable toilet paper because I practice with it a lot. Josh over there said he buys the straight-up, bottom-of-the-barrel gas station paper-thin stuff.
Whatever's the cheapest.
Doesn't matter to him. I can't believe that. But I just like the way this individual put this. I would always pay... I'm not exactly sure what they mean, but I like the way they come off. I always buy the good toilet paper. Don't get me started on how coddled the modern anus is.
There's one thing about the modern anus these days.
I don't know what they mean, but I like the heart behind the message.
They want to glorify the fact that they're criminals. It's dumb. These guys are dumb. They deserve to be tossed under the jail just for being dumb.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Yeah. We're talking about spending here on the program before we go home. Spending monies. What are you not afraid to spend a little extra on? You like the quality. Not crazy about the price, but you'll go ahead and put that money down because you feel strongly enough about it.
I thought of one over the break.
What's that?
If it's a band that I really, really like, I'll splurge a little extra to get as close to the stage as possible.
Okay.
Sometimes just being in the venue isn't enough. I want to be as close as possible.
All right. You want to get
creep
up close?
Them out a little bit?
Yeah. I want to put that restraining order to good use that Bruce Springsteen has against me.
These are things that people say are worth paying a little extra for. Listeners have been texting up and down. Some of the stuff I find really interesting, and I maybe wouldn't have understood a few years ago, but now I do. Carpet pad.
Oh, we're doing something like that right now. I think it's worth spending a little extra?
Yeah. It makes it more comfortable on my old body as I cross the room. I got a buddy who lays carpeting down for a living, and he came over and sized up my place a few years ago, and he said, well, do you want the pad? And I said, I don't know. What's the pad? And he said, trust me, it's much more he was right. A few folks texted in saying they'll pay a little extra for a higher-priced prostitute.
The disease-free ones. It's worth it.
Well, this is what I got here. It says, less itch, less pimp problems. When you pay a little more. Headphones. A lot of you walk around all day with the headphones on.
Oh, yeah, work headphones for sure. It's worth it. The ones, Ashley, the ones you have are terrible.
Yeah, they're absolutely awful. But, I mean, to get a decent pair, it's like at least 100.
Pull tab voyeur, she just said, how about peanut butter? They only buy the expensive peanut butter at their house. I eat it every day. I don't know that we get the expensive kind, but I do love it.
I do, too. I couldn't even tell you what brand I have in the cupboard right now. Like I said,
we're a Skippy family, I think.
I'm not the best. I'm not the most attentive consumer in the county.
Yeah, peanut butter doesn't matter to me much.
I used to never be a peanut butter snob, but my sister got me one of those big batches of the homemade ones they do at Hell's Kitchen in Minneapolis, and I think I'm now a peanut butter snob.
Oh,
I think it might be tough to go back.
Good.
I'm a pickle snob.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. I was introduced to the superiority of Clausen's pickles.
Oh, yeah.
And now everything else to me is not a pickle.
Only those.
They are so friggin' good. I don't know.
Superiority of?
I can't explain why, but they're so much better to me.
I don't know. Wapple's pickles are pretty good.
I've never had one of Wapple's pickles. Wapple, get that pickle in my mouth. I want to try it.
A lot of our listeners will spend a little extra on work boots. What do you think about spending a little more on your tattoos?
Oh, yeah. I'll always pay more for the tattoos.
Go somewhere reputable?
Yep, I go to the same place every time.
My wife spends a lot of money on like workout clothes and shoes. Seems like she always needs new shoes for something.
Now, buying a motor vehicle, Josh, you know a thing or two about buying a new motor vehicle.
I just did it.
Listener texted in and said, I'll always pay for the higher trim. I want the heated leather seats. I want the running boards. I want the better stereo. What do you think about that?
I've a buddy who says to get the one you want because you usually regret it. I've never, stuff like heated seats, all that kind of stuff, I've never really cared too much about. I like whatever the better engine is more interested in.
Some of our listeners will break out the big bucks for the good laundry detergent, the good Q-tips.
Yeah, anything, any type of household thing like that.
Didn't realize there were good Q-tips. I thought they were just Q-tips.
Yeah, there's good Q-tips.
I am obsessive when it comes to cleaning out my ear holes. And, of course, like I said already, these are things you don't learn until you're a little older. In most cases, you start living on your own and this and that. There's a certain style of Q-tip out there that when I start banging my ear with it, it folds up in my hand.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? It's got no resistance. And
you can't have that happen. That's dangerous.
I dig in there like I'm looking for dinosaur bones. You know what I mean? I need a tough sumbitch. So I know what they're talking about.
I don't do that anymore. I had a ear, nose, and throat lady say, "Knock it off." She shamed me.
Yeah, they all say that.
She looked at me like I was a monster.
Yeah.
How about this text on peanut butter?
Peanut butter.
This person says peanut butter is butthole cement. I don't know about that. It's never done that to me. What am I saying? I'm constantly constipated.
I think it's supposed to
but I don't think
opposite.
It's peanut butter related.
It causes you to be constipated?
I don't know. I don't think that's... I've never heard that before.
Oh, gosh. Speaking of food, what the hell's the matter with this? I'll pay a little more money for the good sushi. What the hell are you putting that garbage in your mouth for in the first place? Sushi?
I like vegetable sushi just because I love the wasabi. So good.
If I was a sushi fan, I don't think I'd get it from a gas station.
Oh, you haven't lived until you've had some gas station sushi waffle. Puts hair in your chest.
Sweep it into the garbage so we don't have to have this conversation ever again. People will spend a little extra on the car wash. They want I hate those folks who spend all the money on the car wash. I got to wait forever behind your ass.
I just got shamed for only getting the basic one by my boyfriend. I was like, okay, shut up. You go get a car wash for me then.
Don't sit there for 30 minutes. Just go in and out of the thing. Get the quick $2 douche. Bar soap. What are you texting in from 1978.
Boy, I don't remember the last time I've used bar soap.
Who doesn't use body wash?
A parachute. Oh, boy, that sounds important.
Yeah, that sounds really important.
One listener said, I'll pay a little extra for the good parachute.
That's probably a good call.
Ashley, what about this one? A listener will spend a little extra money to buy the good milk.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking of that one. That's definitely one of mine.
Is there a difference? We get the Wise brand milk or whatever. I
don't know. I think there was even like a documentary that came out or something like that exposed that it's all coming from the exact same place. You're just paying for the name brand, but I think it tastes different a little.
The good milk. M-E-L-K. Milk.
Milk.
Surprised nobody's brought up coffee yet because I know people are very passionate about their fancy coffees.
I don't care.
Good point. Yeah, nobody said that yet.
Mm-hmm. Pour it on top of the sushi. Tie it
I
up.
thought of a good one. Any kind of makeup or face wash, anything that goes on my face. Because I've stop it, Nick. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that.
I wasn't looking at you. I was looking at Waffle.
Yeah, I was waving over at him. Hi.
I was wishing him good luck on his bar game tonight.
6:30 to 8:30. Cowboy Jacks, Bloomington.
Jesus. Waffle and I can't have a little eye to eye. We can't.
Did you say Cactus Jack?
Bang, bang.
All right, so you're saying what's on your face?
Makeup products.
Yeah, makeup or face wash because I've cheaped out before and it's just you'll break out, your skin gets dry.
I hear you.
What about pop?
I just gleeked. Sorry to interrupt.
Pop, soda pops.
Yeah.
Soda fountain
You
sodas.
kind of usually go for the name brand more than like the Shasta or Dr. Thunder.
Oh, I used to love
Thunder.
Shasta.
Is that a real pop?
Yeah,
Dr.
is.
Thunder? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the off-brand of Dr. Pepper. Yep. I'm so out of tune with the soda community that I don't know these things. Yeah, I don't know. If I was going to go back to drinking pop, yeah, I'd go for my favorite. I wouldn't care what it costs.
Yeah, I couldn't do like a Wise brand,
like a
Diet
Mountain
Dew or
Lightning.
anything.
Mountain Lightning, that's what I was just thinking of.
Yeah, I remember like Mountain Lightning. Anytime we had pop as kids, it was like a special occasion, right? And it would always be that. Or strawberry pop, orange pop is what they call it. Just a black and white label on that thing. Just a 2-liter or something.
We will spend a little extra money on this and that. We will, to be comfortable.
Sometimes it's worth it, as we've learned this morning, is it not?
The Half-Assed Morning Show backtracks.
Anyone got a side gig going right now? Anybody?
No.
Nope.
Don't have one yet.
You privileged trust fund babiys over in that other studio. Of course you don't have a side gig.
Yeah, I
You
tried
guys
doing
haven't
that.
paid your dues.
I tried doing that. As I don't know if you guys remember, like a couple, maybe like 6 months ago, and it was way too difficult.
Oh, you're
juggle both.
bartending.
We
Well, wait a
definitely
minute.
remembered that
Wait a minute.
based on what time you'd show up to work.
You
That
did
was
sign
awful.
up. You did sign up to wait tables until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
It makes the best kind of money.
There's no
Bartender and server.
other side gig, no other hours you could take.
I guess. I mean,
'Cause
I'm sure there was.
off.
Yeah.
That did come off kind of silly that you thought you could do that.
Well, that's like what I have experience in. So.
I mean, I have my only fan page.
Yeah.
I guess.
I've been thinking about doing door dashing during lunchtime and stuff like that.
Oh.
I wonder if that'd be fun. I loved delivering pizzas.
See, I don't mind driving around, and I mean, during noon, at noon, I'm usually napping, so it's like, might as well make some money.
But I'd be that guy that ended up in the stupid news for a story where I was eating somebody's food. I'd be too tempted.
I agree, man. The other day I got DoorDash, and instead of like the fries coming in like a package, they came in like a little boat. And I was like, how did that guy not just take one? Maybe he did. I don't know.
He probably did.
Cubby and I had to have side gigs years ago.
Oh, man, many, many years.
So we didn't have rich mommies and daddies like you kids over there.
Well, I drove Uber after the show back in my last gig.
Oh.
I'd get done with the show, and then I'd go drive Uber for a while, and it was rough, but it was needed to be done.
Every once in a while, I'll pick something up if I can.
There's nothing like a dangerously tired Uber driver.
I know.
Yeah.
And then I stopped doing it, and I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have let this bother me as much as it did. But I picked up some dude. He was going to the airport, business guy, and he's like, "Wait a minute. Didn't I hear you on the radio this morning? You're that poor you got to drive Uber after the show?" man,
I would stop too.
You should get in my business, man. I'm going to the airport right now. I make money, bro. And it was just so humiliating.
That's how he talked?
Yeah.
Oh.
I would stop as well.
I might have exaggerated it a touch, Josh.
Yeah, I was going to say, he doesn't sound like a finance bro or whatever you called him. He sounded different to
That
me.
felt good. So the guy made you feel like garbage all the way to the airport because he's such a big shot.
Yeah.
He's everybody and you're nobody.
I'm nobody.
Yeah, there was a local news lady, friend of ours, who she worked at a retailer selling women's clothes on the side, for various reasons, and she used to get that too, like, whoa, why are you here? You're on TV, that kind of thing.
Yep.
You ever pick up anybody famous?
No. Mm-mm. Usually just hungover people, or because I do it on Saturday, Sunday mornings too. Hungover people trying to get away from their one night stand, like just get me home, man.
You think if radio doesn't work out for you, and there's a chance, could you do that full time? You think?
I don't think it's sustainable to do it full time.
No, why?
Yeah, you just don't make enough money.
So much wear and tear on your vehicle too.
Yeah.
I guess I thought those folks were doing all right, but I never really asked too many questions.
Yeah, there's a huge thing in Congress or whatever to stop Uber and Lyft in the cities here.
To stop it from happening?
Oh, yeah, we play those commercials.
Yeah, Uber and Lyft are trying to pull out because the drivers aren't getting enough money for what they have to pay for gas.
Well, that doesn't seem right.
But someone's trying to stop Uber and for what reason?
Because the drivers aren't making enough.
Oh, so it's a pay our people more or we're going to shut it down?
Yep.
Oh, that kind of a move. I thought someone was trying to stop it because they thought it was wrong or something. Or anyway, there's plenty of basic side gigs out there you can take. For anyone who's looking for a side gig, here are some interesting second jobs folks have been signing up for lately. Like I said, there's plenty of basic side gigs. These are out of the ordinary ones. Tell me if... And some of this stuff sounds familiar. We've talked about these type of jobs in past conversations. And I believe these out of the ordinary side jobs comes from a website called, I hate the title, Lifehacker. But anyway.
That's a good site, actually. They got a lot
okay. I don't like the name, but
I hear you.
I'll get over it.
I understand why.
Lifehacker.com. You could be a pooper scooper.
I've thought about doing that, having a pooper scooper business. I've got plenty of experience, do it quite often. I don't mind the work.
And with your dogs, your back must hurt from scooping those turds.
Well, I got big back muscles now.
Yeah.
Biceps, triceps.
Yeah, I'd do that in a heartbeat.
You think you could look at different variations of dog feces day after day after day, Josh?
I'd love it. Dream job.
At least you're outside too. That's nice. Get some fresh air.
It'd be brutal in like normal winters when we have a bunch of snow at this time, because then all the snow melts and you have more poop than you would expect.
Yep.
Well, that's why I buy a flamethrower.
And also, you're barking up the wrong tree if you're trying to sell fresh air to Josh as a bonus to... it sounds simple enough, right? You bag up turds.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You see your work is done. You're making people happy. The dogs are probably excited about it.
Maybe you take the turds to a farmer or something that could use it for. But I just don't know if I could look at soft, greasy, wet dog. I just
greasy.
I'll take it all.
What am I over exaggerating?
Just that word.
I don't think that could be my thing, but it says here now then, you can earn around $50 an hour scooping up somebody else's dog turds. If you get enough customers, you could make a pretty decent amount of money. They say it's an easy business to start. You don't need any special equipment. Just contact your neighbors and offer up your services.
Yeah, and I love puns. A lot of times they have names like duty calls and things like that, just poop-related puns.
Oh. Sorry, that was just pure gas
I think it'd be perfect. Dr. Pooh Little. That's what I'm looking up.
I hate that I like that so much.
This is something I've never heard one word about before today. Renting out your baby things. if you have baby clothes and strollers, what else do you do with a baby?
Rent them.
This is so odd to me. You can rent out your baby things for families who are traveling. So a family comes to your town, they've got a baby or two, they're going to be in your area for a short period of time. It's easier and cheaper for them to rent cribs, toys, and other baby stuff
I bet it is.
than to transport their own. So there's companies out there, one called Baby Quip, one called Traveling Baby.
I wonder if Airbnb has a filter for that.
Well, there's a lot of those.
Like a search filter, you can, condense your search, so then you can put like baby items. Or
Got
something.
a crib in there?
Yeah.
So it says here you can make as much as $1,200 a month. Schlepping is the word here that they use. Out your baby gear.
Dang.
Now, I don't have any babies. I'm very thankful that I'm not a parent. I'd be miserable at it, and I'm not envious of anyone who's reproduced. So I know nothing about kids and how they operate or anything. But Josh, you're going to go to Chicago for a week, 2 weeks. Would you contact someone and rent someone else's baby clothes and things like?
No, I wouldn't even consider it.
Yeah.
Shoot, you can rent out your car. You can rent out, like, if you have a pool. I played pickleball at some rich dude's house. We rented his pickleball courts.
What?
All that kind of
Whoa.
stuff.
You did what now? I'm sorry.
Played pickleball with our guy Dr. P, our regular doctor.
Sure.
And he ended up finding some website where you can, find rich folks who have these things and rent them out. So we paid some dude to let us play pickleball at his outdoor court.
Oh, wow. He rents out his court.
Yeah, same guy rents out a pool, all kinds of stuff.
This stuff gets really weird. It really does.
Bought some weed.
Did you?
Nice.
Yeah,
bought
I love weed.
Marijuana from?
I'm in.
Some of this stuff is really odd. I mean, baby gear rental is really odd to me.
Maybe I can make a weed rental. Bongs, blunts, joints.
Well, how do you rent a joint?
Yeah, I just thought of that one.
Maybe like a joint
I
roller.
think that's called drug dealing, Wapple.
Wapple, for my sake, go ahead and do it. Just don't talk about it. Friend services. How many of us have them?
Friends.
You can get paid to just hang out with someone who's lonely.
Oh yeah, wasn't there those people that would hourly you could rent them to like hug you?
Yes,
Yeah,
I've heard of
yep.
that.
You can
Snuggle,
spooning.
spoon. We are so psychotic now. we just are. In this particular case, friend services. You get paid to hang out with someone in a non-sexual way, just to provide them some comfort. Rent a friend is one particular example of a website that I guess offers this service. You can earn up to $50 an hour. Come on.
I feel so sad typing in rentafriend.com.
Yeah.
I'm going to set up my profile now.
Is there
And
an easy-to-use app?
And don't get us wrong, or me wrong, or us, however you look at it. To be lonely is a totally normal thing. To offer up your services, I don't know. That seems so odd to me.
Yeah. You do kind of have to have some sort of ego where you're like, I'm so cool. People want to hang out with me so much they'll pay me to hang out.
You see, that's what crossed my mind, too.
Like, I'm that cool of a hang.
You sounded just like the guy that made fun of you at the airport.
God, yeah.
I turned into him.
Are you that guy?
And maybe that's the wrong way to think about it, because I'm not picturing these people as being very, very sympathetic to the lonely. I'm picturing them as being oddballs.
Maybe taking advantage of the lonely in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting paid to...
Or they just love to talk. Just don't stop.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe they.
I don't know. I guess I'd have to think about it more. Well, Monday I'm going to see this guy, Ernie. He lives in Stillwater. And then Tuesday there's a lonely lady in Hastings. Her name is Molly. I'm going to go hang out with her. That just...
That is weird.
It sounds like something crazy people would sign up to do. There you go. We were having a conversation a few minutes ago about some interesting side gigs, side jobs. There's plenty of regular gigs out there for you. But for those of you who don't want to, put a few hours in the afternoon over at the neighborhood bait shop, you want something a little different. We found something on lifehacker.com talking about some of these more out of the ordinary side gigs. We talked about folks who scoop poop. Go into someone's backyard, scoop up their dog turds for them. Rent out your baby gear to families that travel. You're coming to my town? Fine, here. You can have this crib for $10 and the baby shoes and whatever else you do with a baby. I actually got a text from somebody. A listener says we go to Florida every year and we rent strollers, car seats, and high chairs. It's easier not to pack those items.
A few people text in and said it's way, way worth it. They do the same thing.
Yeah, how do you check a stroller at the airport? But that's just a pain in the butt.
There are, what do we cover? Friend services. Someone pays you to come to their house, hang out with them. Hold their hand, whatever they need. You're a rent-a-friend. Where was this text message? A listener says, I think I could be a great rental friend, says this listener. It's a dude. He says, unless she's hot, then I'll just freeze up and I'll be really weird. Rent-a-friend. It's such a different time nowadays. Okay, I mentioned that some of these were, really, wait a minute. I was about to say that they're odd. I established that already. Some of these we have discussed before. That's where I was going next. And this one sounds familiar, but maybe I'm wrong. Selling your underwears.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be very successful with that.
If somebody wanted to offer me cash, I'd be more than happy to exchange it, but I don't think that offer is going to come my way.
Somebody just DM'd me like 2 days ago asking if I would do that.
Did you?
No.
But did they offer a certain amount of money?
No.
Did they go on the side of $694?
Do you guys know anything about this? Because I don't understand. Is this a sexual thing, or is this for people who don't want to pay for underwears?
It's a sexual thing.
Definitely sexual.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, because they want them worn. And they don't want them washed.
Yeah, my girlfriend used to be a flight attendant, and she said that people would offer to have, like, the panties or underwear.
The
and stuff
nylons?
like that. Yep.
What does that have to do with being a flight attendant?
Just people wanting her underwear.
You're saying
because she's like a cute little flight attendant wearing a skirt, stuff like that.
Yep. People traveling from all over the world.
But you're saying while she was working, customers would say, can I buy your underwear?
Yep, and then they would pay more money if they got the underwear after the flight, so she would work in it and build up sweat.
She had more than one person face-to-face offer to buy her underwear.
Yes.
And that's how she affords her townhouse.
Exactly.
All right, so it's a sexual thing. I thought for a minute it just had to do with broke folks. They can't afford underwears. Selling your hair. That one also sounds familiar. Yeah. We talked about that not that long ago, didn't we? Right.
We did.
Selling your hair. Line standing.
Oh,
we had
I've heard of this.
Yeah, we had an intern that did that for a sales guy. He got paid, I think it was like $50 an hour, more than you ever make in radio.
Do you remember what he was standing in line for?
A condo.
Okay.
There was a condo building opening up in Minneapolis, and he wanted to make sure he got on the list to buy one.
Yeah, that would have been a better job back in the day when you actually had to stand in line for concert tickets, sporting events.
Or back in the day when the big video game release was coming out, like a new system, people would camp on the sidewalk for a PlayStation 2 for, weeks on end.
That doesn't happen anymore?
Not really.
Okay. I know the concerts doesn't happen anymore, but nerds don't still get in line for the latest video game?
You pre-order stuff or you have it delivered.
Yeah, I remember working at McDonald's. We worked right next to a GameStop, and we would always change our hours later if there was a release at midnight.
Oh, sure.
All right. Line standing. There are companies, one called Same Ol' Line Dudes. Same Ol' Line Dudes. All right. Another site called TaskRabbit that have listings, help wanted. They want line standers. And typically you can make about $25 an hour waiting in line for somebody else. Got a text from a listener that says, I received a case of beer and a large pizza to wait in line for a stranger once. That's wife plowing Jesus. He didn't say what he was standing in line for, but he got a case of beer and a large pizza. And then selling your poop. This is something that we've covered before. It's like a medical thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Thankfully, there's nothing sexual about that, at least that I know of.
No, I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
Rule 34, right? Isn't that what that's called?
Mm-hmm.
This is
the old Cleveland steamer, they call it.
A listener texted in and said, well, you can rent out a womb.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
I didn't think that deeply about what we were talking about. What are they referencing there? Like a surrogate mother?
Yep.
All right, rent out a womb. I thought this was a really interesting idea for a business from a listener that goes by the name of More Anxiety Than Hair Jesus. If we're talking about an odd side gig, something that you don't hear of very often, that I think could make some real money, he says, I always thought it would be a good business idea for someone to go around and field dress deer for people during hunting season.
That's a really good idea.
I almost wonder if there is something like that.
I could have used that this year for sure.
There could be. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, and then you don't have to pull the deer out, all that work too.
Because,
dang.
like,
that'd be a good idea.
Biggest workout of my life.
They have those game farms, right? You go shoot a bunch of birds, you bring the birds back, and then you just grab some out of the fridge that are all good to go for you. That kind of thing. So I wonder if there's something like that.
We went to like a fish farm one time in Wisconsin, and you could just sit there at a pond and you would just constantly catch massive walleyes.
I bet I know exactly what one you're talking about. And then they like clean them for you, cut the heads off, all that.
Yeah, and then you could even pay extra, and I think you could go to the restaurant and they'd make a meal or something too.
Oh wait, can't you bring a deer to a meat market and they do it for? I guess I don't know.
Yeah, but we're talking about cleaning the sumbitch.
You don't want you want to do that in
not cleaning, like gutting.
Gutting, pulling it out of the woods and all that.
Right,
tough work.
Can you picture a dude just walking around St. Louis County, in early November, and he's getting paid to just field dress every deer?
He's just walking around in orange the whole time.
He's soaked in blood.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Knife walking around.
He's carrying a knife, right? You'd be terrified. How much money you got on you? He says. I'd run for my life. But that does seem like a really good idea.
Yeah.
You'd be one tired bastard when you were done with your day.
You'd be ripped though.
He's just wearing a William Shatner mask and doesn't say a word.
That's exactly. If you didn't know, the professional field dresser was in your county that morning or that afternoon, you would be terrified. He's just, money. Give me money.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.